Oh, we should be live. We might not be live on Facebook. All this shit is new again. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's old is what's new.
Hey, listen. What up, Betty? Yeah, all this shit is new.
What's up, Betty? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, pretty sure the world's changed today.
You are such an asshole.
Look, man, you see the shirt? Find me offensive, then I suggest you quit finding me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yo,
the fuck?
Hilarious.
Everything's changed. It worked. You did it, guys. It was wrong.
Yay.
Yeah, like my original point was before. Our side is not saying do nothing. Our side is saying do
wait.
That's all. Yo, I just peeped the title. I just peeped the title.
Did you see the loading screen?
No.
Scroll back to the beginning of the video live.
Stream starting soon.
Yeah.
You just do that. That it?
Yeah.
Yo, that's pretty dope though. I didn't know you could customize that.
So
what?
I didn't either. It's the whole thing. I'll talk about it later.
Hey,
do we get rid of these? I'm sorry, not get rid of. After we get done with these niggas.
Yeah. Because my thing is, yo, don't be defiant, yo. Like have a disagreement. Don't be defiant in your ignorant stuff. Like,
right.
I saw somebody say they just don't know how to.
All right.
Oh, we don't know how to. All right.
Okay. Let's get to this.
All right. So I'm gonna do the intro anyway. Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ.
Yo.
And I am Tombstone the Dead Man. And we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. Now, what I would like to tell everyone is welcome to the new world.
I hate you so much.
That has been shifted and changed.
I hate you so much.
This is
what
the world.
What up,
Bowflex? This is the world y'all told us was gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And we was wrong, and okay, we willing to accept because cost of eggs went down, and people got their jobs back. You might ask, why am I being snarky? I'm being snarky because the level of virtue signaling that niggas had to hear for simply telling the truth, and also watching people repeat the same mistake they made last time. Good afternoon. The same mistake they made last year, where people on your side of the issue says to you, yo, this, in this case, it was Biden. Yo, he's old and he's not up to the task.
What up, Sean P?
What up, Sean P? He's not up to the task. Y'all got to get somebody else in there. We're on your side. We may not be Democrats, but we're on your side as far as these issues and who we don't want in there. And they got shouted down by the masses, apparently, who said, this ain't the time to be, y'all can't be, he's fine. And then disaster struck at a debate. And we all saw he had holes in his drawers.
Yeah.
And then after that, the mad dash to put somebody else up in there but only give her 3 months of campaign time.
Mm.
If you don't think that wasn't instrumental in that loss, you're bugging.
Facts.
Yeah, I got a neural link to sell you. So we see that happening again, and we're saying, hey, fellas, not this way.
Don't mind me.
Not this way. That's all. Not this way. Now, unless SBJ has any objections, I just want to do my quick introductory rant.
Well, the only objection I have is there's some information that has to go along with this.
You're right.
That's the
we have to set
That's
it up.
the only reason I feel like I should go first.
I agree. It has to be set up.
Okay. This isn't necessary. Y'all don't need to see the chat like that. I'm gonna take it off.
You trying to do the whole chat on the in the
yeah,
screen?
it's not necessary. I don't know. But all right, so so we spoke recently. I think both last week and the week before.
Mm-hmm.
Not in depth both times, but we spoke recently about boycotts and how they work. I'm afraid that we gotta spin the block. This time, we will be fussing. It's been a little minute.
It has
since an episode has been predicated on just us fussing.
Yeah.
But this was earned. This was
earned.
This was absolutely earned.
We're doing it out of love.
Yes. Because we're not talking to grifters.
No.
We're not talking to bad faith actors.
No.
So it's out of love. Please remember that. I'm gonna try to reiterate throughout. But if I don't, blame my head, not my heart. So for some backstory, I made a post this week.
He did.
I made a post. It was a very simple.
You do that every now and then.
Every now and then.
Yeah,
every now and then. It was a very simple post. It wasn't. If for anybody that happens to have commented on that post, if you're watching, it wasn't actually talking about any particular person.
Nope.
Throughout the week, I had just been seeing things about this, various things about this thing that was supposedly being planned. And it was annoying.
Very much so.
And then while scrolling Facebook, I happened to see somebody who is not on my friends list, but somebody else that is in my friend list was tagged in the post.
Yes.
And I saw something about it again. So this is not my old Facebook account. On my old Facebook account,
the hyena account,
I probably would have commented on that post. I don't operate that way anymore. Right. I've turned over a new leaf. But it was annoying, and I was already on Facebook. Yeah. Okay. So I simply said, I would just like to point out that there is no such thing as an effective one-day boycott of anything ever. This is not my opinion. That's it. I felt like that was like,
bro, that was to me the least incendiary commentary you can make on that topic.
Bruh, that's all I simply that. And it's like, far be it from me. As you know, on this show, we are the first to admit when we don't know something.
Yep.
When we're wrong about something.
Yep.
And I very rarely sincerely say everything I said in that post is true.
Every word, every punctuation, like every insinuation, every context, everything in that post is true.
To reiterate without reading it verbatim, there is no such thing as an effective one-day boycott of anything. There never has been, and there never will be. Particularly the scale to which we are discussing.
Yes.
That is not an opinion. This is not what I think or how I feel about the scenario. I additionally feel this way. To be clear, I also feel this way.
Yes.
However, this has nothing to do with my feelings.
It's good when your feelings closely connect to the facts.
Yeah, that's what I was. Anyway, so.
But we live in a. They don't like.
We live in a fact-averse world.
Yeah, like they don't like the facts, man.
So I'm not going to read the comments. I'm only going to read one comment because I actually engaged with this person. The only reason I actually engaged with this person.
I actually like that engagement.
Yes.
I like her.
The reason I engaged with this person is because I know her in real life. She's a very close friend of mine. That's one. Because there are people on my friends list who I have not spent much time with in real life that may misunderstand some part of the interaction if I'm going back and forth with them. And I don't want that.
Right.
Because they're on my friends list for a reason. My friends list is very curated. There's very little fluff in my Facebook friends list. So I know her in real life, close personal friend of mine. We've never actually discussed this.
I like that. I ain't gonna lie. I like that back and forth. I like the engagement. I liked it. I thought it was dope.
So she says, while one day does nothing, spoiler alert. I don't know. There are two big problems I had with some of the comments on this post. One of them is, y'all are saying that I'm right. And then there's a but.
Yeah, they're the same but, right?
That's one.
It would have been far better if it had been however.
A little bit. Not far better. A little bit. And two is reasons we're going to get into later. But, so she says, while one day does nothing, if we unite, it can show the impact we have on this nation and its economy. Look what we did to Target in 30 days. At this point, it's about not losing momentum, because let them $5,000 Doge checks come out and y'all going to forget all about this. I said, what did we do to Target? She said, by not shopping there, they took $15 million in losses and announced they were working on bringing their DEI policies back. As a people, we can make a difference. Problem is, people give up too quickly. The boycotts in Montgomery were over 300 days. People forget that part. I said, I'm pretty sure you're making the point that I'm making.
That's exactly what she did.
But a couple things. Where is the report of this $15 million? I have not seen it.
Me either.
How much?
And I feel like if it existed, it'd be all in our face,
nigga.
Yeah.
How much is that $15 million compared to how much they made in that same time period? Because you say there's losses of $15 million. How much money does Target bring in on the average month?
Yeah,
I know it's not $15 million.
The day after or the day before
I know it's not $15 million. I know it's not $15 million.
This is Target. It's way more than that.
Right. I said also, they didn't try to bring DEI back. I think we discussed this on here.
We did.
What happened is they are toothless. What actually happened is they never were trying to get rid of the spirit of DEI. Mm-hmm. They canceled the DEI program in order to be in compliance and then try to name it something else.
Yep.
That's what happened with Target.
The bad part about Target was they didn't need to be in compliance because that executive order was pointed and aimed at the federal But the problem, I think, what happened is people saw that, and there was two types of companies.
Mhm.
It was companies that never wanted to do it in the first place.
Mhm.
That said, oh, well, I ain't doing it now because they ain't doing it. And it's ones that wanted to get ahead
Mhm.
of what could eventually be something that goes into the private sector.
Right. So yeah, they fumbled what they were trying to do.
Fumbled the
Is what
rollout.
happened. So I said boycotts take time. One day is not going to do anything anywhere ever. I didn't say boycotts don't work.
Exactly.
And the two boycotts you brought up lasted 30 times and 300 times of this amount, respectively. That's pretty much my point. She said, I get it, but we got to start somewhere. I'd rather do something than nothing. You never make a free throw if you never try. I said, that doesn't apply here. I'm going to stop reading this. I'm going to stop reading this for right now. What up? Because there's a point to what I said that's going to come up later. So I'm going to stop reading that right now. So again, the reason I responded to her, close friend, we had never talked about it. And I know that when I present to her some type of fact or whatever the case may be, I know that she... for
Yo, Bowflex said, just looked it up. Target does over $100 billion for a 12-month period.
So yeah, 15 million for what is effectively, let's just say, 8 billion.
Come on,
is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. So again, we don't know if it's true, but even if it is true, it did nothing.
Yeah.
Also, this was it was a proof of growth moment for me because I was on Facebook. I was in hyena mode. Yeah. But because it was her, I did the research to respond back in hyena mode.
Bingo.
But then I realized it was her, and I was like, I'm not gonna go that route. But I did do some research. I don't remember exactly because again I didn't use it. I don't remember exactly. Y'all can look it up. Do not take my word for it. These are approximates. From November 20th until yesterday, Target stock is up 1%. From November 20th to yesterday. Something between November 19th and November 20th caused like a 20% drop in their stocks. It was something that had to do with earnings reports. They got their Q3 back, and they didn't bring as much revenue in. So everything dropped.
Yeah.
Now, from the time that the DEI thing was announced on January 24th to yesterday, they had a 10% drop in stock. That's not that much considering what everything is going on with Target and the lawsuit that had nothing to do with this because it was filed. But anyway, regardless. So basically I was going to go in on that, but I was like, no, I don't need to do that to her. That's not, I'm just going to ask her for sources, and she never provided me any sources. But I think that's because she understood what I was saying at that point.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I got.
So back to what is happening. Should I say that? All right, so we have a list in this country called the Fortune 500. Fun fact. I was always vaguely aware of it. Like I knew what it was.
Yes, of course.
But I didn't find out exactly what it was until yesterday.
Right.
So for those who may not know, it is a list of the top 500 American companies ranked by their revenue annually. The combined revenue of the Fortune 500 this past year was around $18 trillion. This list started being published in 1955. You know what else started in 1955? The Montgomery bus boycott.
Oh my.
So we have a point of comparison. The reported estimated total revenue of the Fortune 500 in 1955 was about $766 billion. Adjusted for inflation, that's about $8 trillion. The Montgomery bus boycott lasted about a year and 15 days. With all of that information, Does it sound right to anybody under the sound of my voice that one day of boycotting the entire country will do anything? Anything? Nobody? Bueller?
I don't.
Okay.
That was a
So it's almost like the people heard me in these last couple of weeks say that a one day boycott is no boycott at all, and to boycott everything is to boycott nothing, and then decided to hit me with, watch this. So let me again go over why this is a stupid idea. Mind you, we know all of the things that I'm about to say because we've experienced them.
with love.
All. We've experienced them all at one
Yeah.
time or another.
Yeah.
Okay. I am not about to be super specific with figures because that's the least important thing about what I'm about to say.
Right.
It's the context. The figures are faceless, nameless numbers, honestly. It's the context. There are 340 million people in this country.
Uh-oh.
That makes for about 47 million black people.
Mhm.
Why did I start with black people? Because 92% and 77%.
Mhm.
That is 34 and 19% respectively away from the next highest demographic that made any attempt to avoid the shit that we're dealing with now.
Mm.
Now, I split them up simply to show love to the black women. That's the only reason I split them up. Splitting them up don't help us. Let's put them back together.
Mhm.
We are sitting at 86%, which is still 31% away from the next closest demographic.
Right.
I'm aware that not everybody voted. Again, that's not important to the point.
Right.
Let's round that 86 up to 90. Let's say 90%.
Right.
That gives us 42 million people. Following that same pattern for each other demographic listed in the sources that we have, 84 million white people, 34 million Hispanic people, 13 million Asian people, 4.5 million other people. That's about 94 million people total. I was generous with the percentages throughout every step of the math. So far, let's continue. In order to boycott something, you have to use it in the first place for it to be effective. I can't boycott Target. Why? Because I don't shop at Target.
Right.
So all 94 million of these people would have to actively shop at all of these places. Mind you, this boycott is supposed to be about all corporations in the United States.
Yeah. It was way too broad, yo. It was way too broad.
We won't take away any numbers for that because it's hypothetical. Let's just keep that in mind, though. Next, even if all 94 million people shopped at every single one of these stores, people are warning not to just stock up the day after and the day before, but they're still missing out an obvious issue. This economic blackout takes place on Friday. What if your shopping day is Monday? What if your shopping day is Monday? Okay, all right. So I've been generous to this point. The chances that 94 million people who shop once a week will shop on any given day is 14%. So that leaves us with about 14 million people. Again, I'll round it up. Leaves with about 14 million out of 340 people. Remember that you can't effectively boycott if you weren't shopping in the first place.
Right.
I'm also still being generous here because this only accounts for them shopping.
What up, sis? Both sisters.
So again, I'm still being generous because this only accounts for them shopping, right? This doesn't account for the fact that people don't spend money every single day.
Right.
And definitely not in every single corporation in the United States of America.
Right.
So we now have these 14 million people who initially even cared to try to avoid this mess in the first place that shop on Fridays and might be willing to sacrifice that. That just accounted for their desire to spend. What about their ability to spend?
Uh-oh.
Then what about the companies that haven't done the specific things you're complaining about? Now, that's not me showing empathy for those companies. Fuck them. But a couple of them may align with something that if you attack them, they may. Actually, fuck that. What specifically are you complaining about?
Right. What was the goal here?
What are you complaining about? What are you protesting with your boycott?
Was it the loss of jobs in the public sector? Was it the inflation? Was it the loss of rights? Like, I never got a clear. Was it these two assholes that are at the top of the country right now? I never got a clear message on what was you expecting to happen?
Yeah. But that's actually probably where a lot of this is coming from. You are overwhelmed. You feel helpless.
Yeah.
I've seen the statement. At least I'm doing something. Except you aren't. I gave a funny analogy to my homegirl. The one I was telling y'all about with the back and forth on Facebook. I gave a funny analogy to my homegirl when we were talking about it. Boycotting today, yesterday, and then stopping the next day is the equivalent of a normal-sized human being stepping on Godzilla's toenail and running away. You didn't apply enough force or time to even get the beast's attention.
Or just a reaction. They didn't even go, what's that?
Right. No. Let's do another analogy to disprove the idea that it's better than nothing. Let's say we're playing a video game with a character that's in a maze. The exit to the maze is in front of you. There is no scenario where moving to the side is better than staying still. At best, those choices are the same.
Right.
At worst, you might lose energy, you might lose a turn, you might lose focus. In other words, being ineffective and being inactive are cousins. There's no way the former gets you closer to the goal than the latter. It's just not a thing. Any thoughts to the contrary bring us to today's title, Performative. See, performative activism is a critical label that is applied to instances of shallow or self-serving support for social justice causes. I will shoot the people who we are actually talking about, I'll shoot them a little bill.
Same.
Because every definition I found for the term for the term performative activism included intent and desire. Absolutely. So I will shoot them bail because that ain't them. Yeah, that's not what they're doing.
They have good intent.
Right.
And honestly, had y'all, I don't know how y'all could have quantified it, but had y'all said, this is a test run to see how many people we can get that, I'd have shut my mouth about it.
I wouldn't have.
But the reason I would have done it is I would have shut my mouth about it is because you're not saying that this is going to
I'll give you that part, but that still wouldn't give you enough data to be able to.
That's the other part. Yeah. Being able to quantify.
Yeah, you still wouldn't be able to quantify
who
anything.
did it,
right?
How many people participated?
There's no way that you. Yeah. So
Cindy says, "It's giving yourself a pat on the back without actually doing anything."
I'm so glad you said that. These people aren't grifters.
No.
So they have that going for them. Remember my recent revelation on what allyship is? Past few months, I've been developing this thing about what allyship is.
What are you talking about?
Not liking it because this is what it really means and blah, blah, blah. Yesterday, I stumbled across this video that partially explains this theory that I've been working through and expounds upon that idea, and it links to this topic as well. Let's see if we can pull this up. Can we get this to work is the question, because all this is new.
Joe Maddow's response to MSNBC's cancellation.
Right. I can't hear it, but I'm assuming that the chat can. Can the chat? Can y'all hear this?
Yes. I can hear. I got it on
Maddow talked about how hard it is for her to take Reed leaving the network. She says that she has the utmost respect and affection for Reed, that she loves her, that she's learned so much from her, and she doesn't want to lose her as a colleague, and that while it is not her call, she thinks that MSNBC is making a bad mistake. Maddow goes on to talk about how unnerving it is that MSNBC is removing its two non-white primetime anchors, Reed and Fang, and how it feels worse than bad. Now, using words to speak up can be a powerful catalyst for action and change, but those words have to be chosen carefully to inform and motivate action and change, whereas Maddow centered and sat in her feelings about the situation, which enables other people to do the same. Notice how Maddow doesn't talk about the actual impact of MSNBC's decisions on Reed. Rather, she talks about Reed's value to her and how she doesn't want to lose that value in a colleague. And she doesn't talk about how MSNBC's removal of its global majority primetime anchors is not only harmful to Reed and Fang as individuals, but also to their communities. Rather, she talks about how unnerving it is to her, and how it feels worse than bad to her. And while she does call MSNBC's actions indefensible, she doesn't leverage her privilege to spell out that the only reason why she is still in front of a camera is because she is white. Rather, she wants us to know that it is not her call. And this perpetuates the pattern of performative allyship and the pattern of, gosh gee, I'll be sure to let everybody know how bad I feel about your situation and how wrong I think it is, but it's outside of my control and there's nothing I can do. Now, I know there are people who are watching this and wondering, what do I expect Rachel Maddow to do? Am I saying that she should resign as a show of solidarity, and is that a reasonable expectation to hold? And it's not for me to say what she should do. However, an accomplice would resign. Not as a show of sacrifice for others, not to stand in solidarity with others. An accomplice would resign because it is what is right for them. An accomplice is somebody who is willing to be uncomfortable, to put in the work to effect necessary change. They fight the fight as their own because they recognize that our struggles for freedom are all connected. So an accomplice would resign because they would refuse to continue contributing to an organization that is upholding oppressive systems because that is what is right for them. Whereas an ally is somebody who views themselves as supporting the causes of others as long as it is comfortable for them. And where it comes to experiencing discomfort in that support, they will choose to separate themselves and they will fall back on their privilege to shield themselves from the discomfort that they are aware is being forced upon others. And in case you're having a hard time understanding why allyship is problematic, because after all, isn't it better to say something than to stay silent? Notice how people who might be looking for information about what happened to Joy Reid will now have to wade through articles centering Rachel Maddow rather than learning about the actual impact on Reed and its greater implications for her community.
So, Tim, I think you're muted.
Yeah, I did that purposely.
Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, there's, now again, to clarify, like I'm not even going against what she said, to bolster the idea. I'm not necessarily asking for accomplices.
Do what you feel comfortable doing.
Do what you feel comfortable doing. But this just further pokes holes in this whole allyship thing that I've been poking holes in for the past few
Can we
months.
also say specifically, Rachel Maddow has a bunch of bread.
The whole point of her doing what she did, people in the know, their reaction was, Rachel got that fuck you money.
Yeah. So fuck you money means I can be an accomplice.
Right.
I'm just saying.
This is not me taking a shot at Rachel.
Nope.
At all. Because what she did was still something. It was something. It wasn't the most effective thing she could have done.
Excuse me. Just for more context. What I'm seeing here is Rachel Maddow's estimated net worth is $50 million.
Yep.
So
yeah. But back to this. So here's the thing. This shit is inherently difficult.
Yes.
If it was easy, you wouldn't need to do it.
You wouldn't even be here.
Wouldn't be a thing. What up, cuz? Wouldn't need to do
it. What up, DJ?
Wouldn't need to do it. What about the people, but also along this list of reasons why a one-day boycott won't work, what about the people who've given up?
Yeah.
Because a massive amount of numbers is necessary for change. Where are the numbers? Where are you putting the numbers? If we could possibly get 325 million people to do the one-day thing, I would have more hope for it than.
Oh, hell yeah!
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
That would put
But
a dent in some shit.
that's not where we're getting the numbers. We would be getting the numbers from time. Time is where we would be getting the numbers.
Yes.
But again, what about the people that have given up? Well, if there are people that have given up, and we had that high of a percentage, we had 320, 325.
Right.
We still might be looking at something.
Exactly, Cindy. She could quit and be fine.
Yeah.
Not the same as, say, a single parent quitting their much-needed job because the boss treated the code.
Right. That's why I said
that's why I brought up her net worth.
Not outright asking for accomplices.
No, because everybody can't do that.
Yeah, everybody shouldn't. It's not everybody's battle. Everybody has their own way that they can be effective and affect change.
And you have to look
only
at your situation.
Know
that's right.
What you can stand to sacrifice.
That's
the answer, though, isn't sacrificing nothing.
Right.
But anyway, so what about the people who haven't gotten the message, though?
What about those?
Or got a partial message?
Oh.
Because I have several screenshots. One of them says, no Amazon, no Walmart, no Target, no Disney, no Google, no Apple, no Visa or MasterCard, and especially no Facebook. I will not be posting on Meta platforms for the next 24 hours in support of the economic blackout. This is the first time I saw any of that in this whole thing.
Also, just so you know, Facebook is global.
Yes.
So
yes,
if you don't do it here, doesn't mean really, people aren't.
Targeting that global of a company requires much more planning and work,
much more organization.
A 24-hour not use.
It's not really going to do much.
Are you now? I don't know this person, so I couldn't ask them. But are you logging out of your Facebook, Instagram, Threads, WhatsApp?
Instagram.
Instagram. Are you logging out of those things?
Threads.
Are you logging out of those things for that day? Are you logging out of all of the apps and websites that you use Facebook to log into as well? I doubt it. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure you aren't. So
what up, Fabo?
Fabo.
This nigga's in Cairo?
No, that's the baby.
Oh.
So let me see next screenshot. So this was the first one that I saw. It was in a video, and I sent the video to Tim. It says 2025 economic blackout. February 28th, total blackout. No shopping, nowhere. March 7th to 14th, Amazon boycott. March 21st to 28th, Nestle boycott. April 7th to the 14th, Walmart boycott. April 18th, total blackout, no shopping, nowhere. April 21st to 28th, General Mills boycott. Now, hate to tell you.
He's telling us stuff. Cap's got to teach something.
This is pretty much as ineffective as the one-day boycott. Because, again, just change every time I said 1 day to 1 week. Because there are people who only get paid twice a month.
Yep.
There are people who only get paid once a month.
Yep.
So if it's February, just to pick a month that has exactly 4 weeks in it, if it's February, and to be clear to anybody, it applies to all months. I'm just using February for math purposes. But if it's February and I get paid the first week and the third week, but you're telling me that I'm supposed to boycott Amazon on the second week.
Right.
All right. Don't skin off my back. I wasn't going to be able to shop with them anyway.
That's a fact. And to be clear, I had no reason to go buy anything yesterday, so
Right.
I didn't.
Right. Very simple. Another screenshot. Are y'all participating in the economic boycott today? No Target, Walmart, Amazon, fast food, gas, etc. Small businesses are fine. This person is an influencer. This person has followers. This is another different message from the messages that have been going on. That's not what any of the other ones said.
Right.
Another screenshot, economic blackout, Friday, February 28th, 2025, 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Our first official act, turn it off. For one day, we'll show them who really holds the power. What not to do. Do not make any purchases. Do not shop online or in store. No Amazon, no Walmart, no Best Buy, nowhere, no McDonald's. Do not spend money on food, fast food, gas, major retailers. Do not use credit or debit cards for non-essential spending. Hold on. You just said non-essential spending. That's still spending.
Yep.
Still spending. Who's to say what essential is?
You have to define what essential
Got to
is.
define what essential is. It continues. What you can do if necessary. Only buy essentials or absolutely necessary items such as food. But you told me not to buy food.
Yeah.
Medicine, emergency supplies. If you must spend, only support small local businesses. What if I live somewhere where I don't have gas right now, and you told me not to buy gas, and the closest thing to me is a Walmart, and I need food? I ain't got no food. I just got paid. It's Friday. I just got paid. I was struggling and getting by on the last couple of scraps I had. My baby hungry.
Yep.
My baby hungry. I don't understand. Okay. So spread the message. Talk about it. Post about it. Document your actions that day. Why this matters. Corporations and banks only care about their bottom line. If we disrupt the economy for just one day, it sends a powerful message. If they don't listen, we make the next blackout longer. This is our first action. Our numbers are powerful. This is how we make history. Okay. Next screenshot. The one that Tim sent me. Boycott? Stupid. Not at all. Nah, you're just broadcasting how little you understand about how the world works. And there's a picture of yet another boycott plan. Al Sharpton's DEI boycott plan, by the way. This is the first step to counterattack on the DEI. Do not make any purchases. Do not shop online or in store. No Amazon, no Walmart, no Best Buy, no McDonald's and other fast food stores, no gas, no major retailers. Do not use credit or debit cards for non-essential spending. Try and buy all you need before Friday 28th. Huh?
Which means on the 27th too, right?
Yo, so like what before when? Like a week before? Like a month before? Did you give me that much notice? Did you give me a month? I don't. Okay. If necessary, only buy essentials of absolute need. Needed items such as food, medicine, emergency supplies. If you must spend, only support. Blah 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 blah. It says mostly what the last one says. Now, here's the problem.
The thing that annoyed me mostly about that post was the defiant about we don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
And it is okay.
Yeah, right. So the thing that tickled me and Toon separately about this is Al Sharpton's DEI. That was the first time that I had seen the Reverend's name invoked.
The good Reverend.
In this shit. So I did a cursory search. I literally just went to Google and typed Al Sharpton boycott.
You know, Al Sharpton has a website, has an organization called the National Action Network that's been around for years.
And that is the link that I clicked on. Reverend Al Sharpton clarifies NAN authorized boycott to be announced in April at the NAN convention. Basically, I'm not going to read this whole one because there's another article I have to read. Basically, that says they're fucking with the DEI. There's something that we plan on doing about it. Right now, we are picking what companies we are going to target. We will figure that out, and come time for the convention, we
Which
will
is
let
April
y'all know.
2nd to April 5th.
Well, by the time the convention come, we will let y'all know what we doing. It don't give a time frame for how long this boycott is.
Nope.
It says do not confuse this with any other things going around. That is
Now, why would it be saying that unless people are attaching his name to shit that had nothing to do with it, just to get engagement on this or to legitimize it and make it seem like it's authentic?
So, PBS helped us out
Did
in
it?
several ways. As they,
PBS has been helping me out.
yeah, as they are wont to do.
It's their bag, yeah.
It's PBS. Come on now.
Yeah.
What to know about the February 28th economic boycott? A grassroots organization is encouraging U.S. residents not to spend any money Friday as an act of economic resistance to protest what the group's founder sees as a malign influence of billionaires, big corporations, and both major political parties on the lives of working Americans. Now, does that specific thesis align with the things that the people who are pushing this that you've seen have been saying?
No.
Not at all.
No.
No.
The only similarity is boycott.
Right.
That's
Okay.
it. That's it.
It goes on. The People's Union USA calls the 24 hours of spending abstinence set to start at midnight an economic blackout, a term that has since been shared and debated onto social media. The activist movement said it also plans to promote week-long consumer boycotts of particular companies, including Walmart and Amazon. Other activists, faith-based leaders, and consumers are already organizing boycotts to protest companies that have scaled back their diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, and to oppose President Donald Trump's moves to abolish all federal DEI programs and policies. Some faith leaders are encouraging their congregations to refrain from shopping at Target, one of the companies backing off of DEI efforts, during the 40 days of Lent that begin Wednesday. So you see how they named a Target, ironically, Target.
Yeah,
they gave a decent time period, 40 days.
Yep.
That's going to be relatively effective and easier to track and see what happens.
Specific companies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Here are some details about the various events and experts' thoughts. No thanks. And experts' thoughts on whether having consumers keep their wallets closed is an effective tool for influencing the positions corporations take. Who's behind the 24-hour economic blackout? The People's Union USA, which takes credit for initiating the No Spend Day, was founded by John Swartz, a meditation teacher who lives near the Chicago area, according to his social media accounts. The organization's website said it's not tied to a political party, but stands for all people. Requests for comments sent to the group's email address this week did not receive a reply. The planned blackout is... Oh, hold up. I'm sorry. I almost skipped over that. That is irresponsible. That is irresponsible. This is PBS. That is absolutely irresponsible for you to not... Why aren't you doing everything you can to get this out everywhere?
Right.
Why didn't you respond to that email? That's irresponsible.
It is.
Okay. The planned blackout is scheduled to run from 12 a.m. through 11:59 p.m. The activist group advised customers to abstain from making any purchases, whether in store or online, but particularly not from big retailers or chains. It wants participants to avoid fast food and filling their car gas tanks, and says shoppers with emergencies or in need of essentials should support a local business and try not to use a credit or debit card. So, let me get this straight. If I have a job that requires me to drive around, Now, luckily, in my position, I have time that I can take. So, had I decided to do this, it would have been really easy for me to do this, right? I could have took off, stayed my black ass in the house, and chilled.
And it really wouldn't have actually affected
Anything,
because you had time,
including me.
Right.
Anything. But let's say there's a person who has this type of job where they have to drive all over the place, but they do not have the leeway to just take off whenever they want to, which is fucking ridiculous in this country, but it exists.
Yeah.
It exists. So basically, let's just say me, but everything except for me me being able to take off, right?
Right.
So I have a job where I have to drive from place to place. Yesterday in particular, something popped up. That thing that popped up means that I had to drive from downtown to East County back to West County.
Right.
Let's say I have gas. What was I supposed to do? All right, I need gas. All right, so that's an essential, right? That's an essential. So I can go, according to that, I can go ahead and do that. I can go ahead and do the gas because I need it.
Go ahead and get your essential gas, man.
Okay. How am I supposed to pay for the gas? I don't carry cash.
Oh.
Can't use a debit or credit card. They still do IOUs? For gas
stations? Yeah, you put on a napkin.
Okay. I could have gone to the bank, but I don't live near a bank that I could walk to. So more gas. Anyway, People's Union plans another broad-based economic blackout on March 28th, but it's also organizing boycotts targeting specific retailers, Walmart and Amazon, as well as global food giants, Nestle and General Mills. For the boycott against Amazon, the organization is encouraging people to refrain from buying anything from Whole Foods, which the e-commerce company owns. Whatever boycotts are being planned. There are a number of other boycotts, and that part's not important for the purposes of what we're talking about. Will the events have any impact? So, some retailers may feel a slight pinch from Friday's broad blackout, which is taking place in a tough economic environment, experts said. Renewed inflation worries and Trump's threat of tariffs on imported goods already have had an effect on consumer sentiment. The market share pie is just too big, Marshall Cohen, chief retail advisor at market research firm Circana, said. You can't afford to have your slices get smaller. Consumers are spending more money on food, and that means there's more pressure on general merchandise or discretionary products. Still, Cohen thinks the overall impact may be limited, with any meaningful sales declines more likely to surface in liberal-leaning coastal regions and big cities. Because that matters too, right? Population and population density and all that shit matters as well. Okay,
because to that point, it's going to have more of an effect in those areas because they're going to be the people doing it.
Yep.
The people in the other areas think that they're nuts for doing that, and they're not going to do it at all.
Correct. Like, oh no, it's worse. It's worse. It's not just that. There's another facet that I don't know why I didn't think of, but it's in this article. And Anna, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. A marketing professor at Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management says she thinks the economic blackout will likely make a dent in daily retail sales, but won't be sustainable. Quote, I think this is an opportunity for consumers to show that they have a voice on a single day. I think it's unlikely that we would see long-run sustained decreases in economic activity supported by this boycott. Other boycotts have produced different results. Target saw a drop in sales in the spring and summer quarter of 2023 that the discounter attributed in part to customer backlash over a collection honoring LGBTQ plus communities for Pride Month. By the way, that's what that lawsuit is about, people. For Pride Month, as a result, Target didn't carry Pride merchandise in all of its stores the following year. She studied the impact of a boycott against Goya Foods during the summer 2020 after the company's CEO praised Trump. But her study, based on sales from research firm Numerator, found the brand saw a sales increase driven by first-time Goya buyers who were disproportionately from heavily Republican areas.
Because I'm going to actually mention that in my rant as well. They will. And even those of them that never had before fucked with that place.
Nigga.
Just to spite.
I saw on Twitter. It was before I made my post, so the show wasn't going to be about that. But I saw on Twitter somebody talk about this boycott. I don't remember if it was the one day one or it was the General Target one, and it was something about black dollars and blah blah blah. I saw so many comments. Well, I'll just take my white dollars there.
I'm telling you, that's
now the revenue bump proved temporary, but it did the opposite of what the plan was.
right.
It proved temporary. Goya had no detectable sales increase after 3 weeks because they were just counteracting what we were doing. That's
Yeah.
they
didn't
succeeded.
plan on doing that.
No, they didn't give a
Right.
fuck about. No,
Right.
they succeeded and they thwarted our plan.
Right.
It was a different story for Bud Light, which spent decades as America's best-selling beer. Sales plummeted in 2023 after the brand sent a commemorative can to a transgender influencer. Bud Light sales still haven't fully recovered, according to alcohol consulting company Bump Williams. Turkman thinks a reason is because there were plenty of other beers that the brand's mostly conservative customer base could buy to replace Bud Light. Afia Evans, a political and image consultant in Atlanta, says she would make a point of shopping on Friday, but will focus on small businesses and black-owned brands. Evans is aware of other boycotts, but she says she liked this one because she believes it could have some effect on sales. She's talking about going from not spending in big brands and spending on local brands. That part. She said it's a broader thing. We want to see what the impact is. Let everybody participate and plan from there.
I would just like to tell everybody that when they talk about the smaller brands, local stores, you need to realize that Amazon years ago decreased and reduced the amount of those type of stores.
Yep.
Years ago.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Joe?
Between Amazon, Walmart, Target, a lot of these stores have gone out of business.
So when you say that, they say that as if there's so many of them within reach that, it's plenty of these. No, they're not. Not that it's not like it used to be, bro. Yeah. It's just not. It's not.
And they're definitely not within walking distance.
Hell no.
You have to drive, which is going to cost gas. And then you're going to have to buy gas. And finally, for this portion of why this one-day fucking boycott won't work is a cynical one, but it's true nonetheless. What about the people like us who just know that this is just a performative waste of time? I'm not. Listen, I am not, and I encourage anyone under the sound of my voice to not put yourself in any uncomfortable position for something as feckless as a one-day boycott.
Yeah.
If it is a scenario where, like I said, you fit into any of those scenarios that I gave, I'll just name one of them. You happen to be, check situation, and you got kids at home, and
they hungry.
You got paid, and that's your opportunity to go get some fucking food.
Go get some food for them kids.
That one day is not going to do anything. Again, sheer numbers suggest that it won't be enough people that have done it to do anything.
Right.
And
y'all just going to be in the house hungry.
Right. And it's not, I would imagine. Let's take the example. Let's take the example that Bowflex gave us. Target does over $100 billion over a 12-month period. Let me pull up my calculator. The good calculator.
Ass.
So, 100 divided by 52. So that's roughly $2 billion in revenue
a month. Oh, excuse me,
week.
my bad. Every
week.
week. It's 52. Yeah.
A week. So let's divide that by the 7. Oh, hold up. 100 divided by 52 divided by 7. $270 million. $270 million a day. Now, in the event, right, that zero people
Right.
bought from any store
Right.
for one day. So they lost $270 million. Earnings reports are generally quarterly. That's $270 million missing from $25 billion. Is that to say that nobody's going to pay any attention to it? No. But it's not the thing that you make any sweeping changes for.
And you're definitely not going to make any big business decisions based off of that. You're just not. They're going to look at, you got to think about it. They're going to look at what they stand to gain versus what you want them to do.
Yeah. It's that simple.
It's really that simple.
Cost benefit analysis.
That's what it is.
Just like most things in life.
Yes.
Cost benefit analysis. It's baby steps because people can't. All right.
We're gonna
Okay.
talk about that.
Sure, but no, because there is no metric that you can give me right now that is going to tell you and lead consistently to the idea that if I try something for one day that has little to no effect on me,
right,
that will help me do it over a 3-month period. No. That's not how that works.
No, it's not.
Because over a 3-month period, it's going to start having an effect on me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go ahead.
So I had a conversation the same day he did under that same thread. And I saw common themes being put up there, and they didn't make sense to me. So I'm just going to go over some of this stuff with love. Put that part in there.
Damn it, I forgot to say it.
Now, I got you, though.
Okay.
So imagine you're at war. The enemy is holed up in a fortified building, locked and loaded with machine guns.
Mm-hmm.
One of your allies, fired up with passion, grabs a slingshot and says, "I'm going in."
Mm-hmm.
You stop him. Bro, that's a slingshot. They have machine guns. And instead of listening to you, the others on your side start yelling, "This isn't the time to criticize. You're discouraging him." That is exactly what it feels like when y'all tell us not to give you the truth about this boycott plan. Boycotts work when they stretch for months, when they apply relentless economic pressure. A one-day boycott? That's not even a slap on the wrist. It's a light breeze passing by their faces, if that.
Yeah.
So let's break this down. This plan we're up against, it's been 60 years in the making. The bigoted right didn't just take the L in the 60s and call it a day. They got to work. They planned, strategized, adjusted, and evolved. They stacked the courts with their judges. They won key elections, even when they lost the popular vote. They built think tanks and institutions dedicated to refining and perfecting their playbook.
Mm-hmm.
They studied psychology, media, and social engineering, and they used it to condition the American people to doubt reality itself. They made lying an art form. They blurred the lines between truth and fiction until the average person couldn't tell which media outlets were legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
They desensitized people to lies, gaslit the public into thinking expertise was the enemy, and conditioned the masses to believe that crass, cruel behavior was just telling it like it is.
Mm-hmm.
They strawman their opponents so hard that even some of you started believing their caricatures. And when fact checkers stepped in, they attacked the very concept of fact checking. Meanwhile, the people that were supposed to be protecting your quality of life, they were asleep at the wheel.
Mm.
Some even helped the enemy gaslight you, telling you, oh, they're just patriots with a different opinion. They want what's best for the country. Nah. They wanted what was best for their demographic, not you. This wasn't a fluke. This wasn't accidental. This took 6 decades of winning, losing, and adapting. That's how we got here. And now, because of all of that careful, calculated work, there are more Black people than ever proudly defending folks who think less of them, parroting white supremacist talking points without even realizing they've been conditioned to do it. So now, with the enemy fully entrenched, sitting comfortably in power, you want to rush in with a one-day boycott and think that's going to change anything. And when people call out this weak-ass tactic with love, you say it's a warning shot. A warning shot? The wolf isn't at the door. It's in the house.
Facts.
Standing over your bed, about to take a bite. And you're talking about warning shots.
Yeah.
Let me help you out, though. You don't have 60 years to get your lick back. The reason incrementalism worked for them is because the people who should have been protecting us were corrupt and asleep. You don't have that luxury. You can't afford to inch your way toward a solution while they keep stacking the deck. Now is the time for explosive action. Action that overturns the apple cart, that throws them into disarray, that makes them rethink their plans and forces them to adapt on our terms. Not this, not performative, symbolic one-day gestures that let you feel like you did something without actually shaking the foundation. Because if all you've got is a slingshot against a firing squad, you're not scaring anyone, and you damn sure ain't winning. With love. Something else I saw too. I'm sure all of us did. You saw that shit that happened in the White House the other day, didn't you? You need to understand the level of the threat. Because the sense of urgency that should be there, I don't see. There is no time for performative anything. And at the risk of repeating myself, the people on my side are not saying to do nothing.
No.
We're saying to do more. So instead of doing a one-day boycott, there are those of us that are prepared to do much longer than that, even if we got to suffer a little bit to make the point, to actually make an effect. All you're doing, right, at least in my opinion, is you're wearing your troops out. There's a little shit here, a little shit there, having no effect. To make an example, any of you who box or know anything about boxing, you know you expend more energy swinging and missing than you do connecting with the punch. This is a swing and a miss. And if you do enough of these, you're going to leave your army winded. And when they get winded, they bring their arms down. Exposing all that lovely face. Some right hooks, some uppercuts, a couple of jabs to the proboscis. We don't have time for that. That man and his Muppet on a global stage just disrespected the president of an allied country. And he did it specifically so there would be an excuse not to support the Ukrainians. Now, no matter how you feel about the Ukrainians, I certainly feel very negatively towards their racist shit. Oh, yes, we know about it. Don't think we don't know. We know. We also know it's bigger than that. And I'm an 80s kid. What does that mean? Russia's the enemy. They've been the enemy.
Thanks.
Since Nikolai Volkov, since Ivan Koloff, since Nikita Koloff, since Crusher Khrushchev.
Clubber Lang. Oh, my bad.
The enemy. He did that to show Putin fealty. This is the level of the threat. So one, you can't run around here with no clear objective and say, we're going to do this. To what end? Don't be asking us that. As I said before, this is the same shit we saw last year where we were saying Biden's kind of old. And it's cool to be old as long as you still got your faculties. He doesn't look like he has his faculties.
Right.
This isn't going to work out. How about we switch him out and have a primary? Put some people up there, have them debate, figure some shit out. Nope, we'll hear nothing of it. But dude, Biden said he only wanted one term anyway, so what did we say? Okay. And then disaster struck. The debate performance was horrible. He lost to a man who hates facts. Simply because he couldn't get his facts out. He couldn't present them out. By then, though, it was 3 months before the damn election. So you put Kamala in. And to be clear, Kamala was qualified to be president. Let's stop bullshit. She was qualified.
One of the most qualified individuals who has ever lived.
Come on, bro. Come on. Like, but even someone that's qualified, even someone that is very articulate and charismatic, which to be honest, she wasn't for most of her political career.
Right.
And even with that, she still managed to win some elections. But even with that, 3 months is asking a lot for anybody.
Yeah.
Especially in this climate now where campaign cycles happen a year and a half before the election. Sometimes 2 years. Or if you're like Trump, Trump campaigned the entire time since he lost.
What up, McKenna?
Hey, McKenna. He campaigned the entire time since he lost.
Yeah.
In 2020. The whole 4 years he was campaigning. And you gave her 3 months and then she lost. Because you didn't listen to the people that are on your side of the issue. Even if we don't like the candidate, we know who we don't want in there.
Correct.
Y'all got to stop shouting down dissenting voices within your coalition. You got to stop it.
You got to listen.
You got to stop it. It is. You will lose consistently. And if you think those people are wrong, then present
that
arguments to the contrary. Convince us to be okay. I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, I know this, that, and other, but look at this motherfucker. Oh, you know what? All right. I see what you're saying. Give it a try. But y'all don't be doing that shit. Y'all quick to shout it down. And then you arrogant about it. One of these things that he read was a screenshot that I sent to him where somebody was like, this is stupid. Oh, no. You just don't know how the economy works or whatever. That defiant, arrogant ignorance. That shit's going to cost you every time when you believe you know more than what you actually do. One of the reasons for that, though, that also was planned.
Oh,
That whole mentality about not listening to expertise, fuck that fact-checking shit, all that. And what make me mad, what really irritates me, is there were a bunch of people back in 2010, 11, 12, who came from that skeptic community, who sung the praises of critical thought, sung the praises of just the facts, man. Just the facts. I see a lot of them running over there and defending the side who said we don't want fact checking anymore on any of these social media sites. Defending the side that said that expertise doesn't matter and experience in a field doesn't matter because I think something. That is embarrassing because you made a big deal about it. We had big dumbass rallies about that very thing. We had the March for Science in DC. I was there marching for science. Only to see you in 2025 doing this shit, supporting this shit, making excuses for this shit. There's a lot of shame to go around. And it ain't just the people who's doing the fuck shit that we want to protest against that should be ashamed.
mm-hmm.
Because some of the reason that they got this far with that shit is people wasn't doing what the fuck they were supposed to do, and they wasn't living up to what they said they was down with.
Correct.
The shit is absurd. And oh, by the way, if you think for one goddamn second that part of this whole boycott situation for this one day shit, they wasn't going to literally be like, fuck that, I'm owning the libs by going to places that I ordinarily wouldn't have shopped at just to give them the money. This is what happens in a polarized country where there is an even enough split of people who are diametrically opposed to what each other believes. This side and this side thinks that either side, what they want is bad for the country or bad for their self-interest. So just understand to manage your expectations for a lot of this shit. And also be prepared to do some things your soft-hearted nature, your pudgy American nature might not be ready for. Because y'all still trying to hit with the soft padded gloves. And they not.
Nah.
They coming out swinging bare knuckles. With them rings on that shit. And you doing this, Pat, you better stop. Pat, you better stop. You better stop. Here's a one day. Hit them with that one day. All right. And they are juggernaut, just running through, smashing everything in their sight. And you still hitting with these gloves, or you still finding ways to nuance it so that they're not the problem. No, well, my ass. You slap boxing. They swinging for the fences. You are not the same. All that incrementalism shit going to do is allow the shit they're doing to cement. So if you're really serious and say that this is a threat beyond any other threat this country has ever had, because I've been hearing that talk now for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
This is the biggest threat that such. And I believe you. I believe you. I know what I saw the other day. And I also know the response of the rest of the free world to that shit. Where they're saying things like, it's clear that the rest of the world cannot count on the United States.
Mm-hmm.
They are no longer the leader of the free world. He did that shit in a month. And when I
Impressive.
tried to, bro, is it? I tried to tell somebody else who was finding reasons to poo-poo the threat. Well, he's only been in there, and Hitler took like 50 days.
Bruh.
50. We are in a much faster time period now. Things move a lot faster now. So if you believe, like I hear you saying, that this is a threat beyond all this, take the kid gloves off, bro. I know you don't want to do it. I don't want to do none of this shit.
No.
If I had it my way, I'd have been gone in 2018. And all I was hoping for, since I couldn't do that, make that happen, was that we could keep this place stable enough, just long enough, so me and my folks, yeet, right? That's also, that's not the case. It didn't happen that way. I don't want to do none of this shit. I don't want to do none of this shit. Because I feel like I'm once again falling into that pattern where they have us sacrificing blood and sweat for something that they're only going to try this bullshit again later. And whatever solutions they come up with, they'll be half measures, so they'll be quickly dismantled, like this time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm put an executive order on that shit. Get y'all niggas the fuck out of here. Right? But it is what it is. We're here now. Stop telling people just because they don't have all the answers that they can't critique your answer. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not rushing in to a building fortified with machine guns with a slingshot just because your ass doing it. I ain't doing it. They saw it coming. They been see it. Look at the Occupy Wall Street shit. This is a classic example. Remember when they was out there every day? Big old crowds. Fuck this Wall Street shit. They caused the bubble. Agreed. Days went by. The crowd thinned. It thinned some more. And now, you know, ain't a goddamn person out there doing any of that. They wait your ass out. They literally factor that in. All of the shit that we using from the 1960s, this is a playbook they read too. You think they didn't factor that in? I'm going to tell you how disciplined the other side is with this shit. They were patient for 60 goddamn years. They put shit in place even when they lost some shit. They learned from the loss and put. That's what you're dealing with. This is Drake versus Kendrick. That's what you're dealing with. Y'all jumping. I know what we'll do. We're going to need something more than that, folks. We're going to need something way more than that. Got to do better and got to come stronger and be harder with that shit. You hitting them with a feather ain't going to do a motherfucking thing. It's just not. Except to have them laugh at you. They got accustomed to believing certain shit. They got accustomed to believing on this side, we the ones with all the guns. So they talk that shit. All you got to do is see them online. You see it online when they talk about that shit. When they talk about Civil War, they don't want that because we got all the guns. They got accustomed to seeing you like a punk. Y'all ain't going to do nothing. Y'all Qaeda is out there. And they believe that they got the upper hand. And they kind of do. Because they got their Messiah in power. Fabo said he got a satellite gun on standby. Oh, for real? McKenna says she's looking at July for her move to Colombia.
Hey. 'Cause, 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 'cause,
That's amazing. That is amazing. I wish I could go. I'll take Colombia. Medellin is nice all year long. Eternal spring. But yeah, that was my rant on. I hope they listening. With love.
From the Associated Press, as of midday, any retrenchment on the part of consumers wasn't visible.
Excuse me. Stop. I need you to repeat that again.
As of midday, any retrenchment on the part of consumers wasn't visible. According to Marsha Cohen, chief retail advisor at market research firm Circana, the assessment was based on phone calls with retail executives and reports from his network of analysts monitoring malls and stores. Quote, it doesn't look like anybody's really pulling back. If you get 5% or 10% of the people that don't shop, that could happen on any given day because of the rain.
Right.
So that was not my first, but that was one of the points that I fucking brought up and then at the end of all of that, at the end of all of the points that I have for the reasons why this is not a thing, not it won't work. This is not a thing.
That's not the point. Right.
This is not a thing.
They keep trying to conflate that, right?
Yeah.
What we're saying with that.
No, this is not a thing. This specifically is not a thing. There is no such thing. It does not, that animal does not exist. Mm-mm. It may as well be a unicorn. Mm-hmm. There is always the possibility that people are simply going to say, no, thank you.
Yep.
That exists with any.
That's right.
But for something that goes on for some sustained time, you get things like peer pressure, proof of efficacy. You get a bunch of other things that might convince those people that are saying no thank you to be like, oh, maybe this does have a shot. Let me go ahead and see if I can help out. 24 hours. 24 hours. Again, Target, $270 some odd million a day. If that disappeared, it would not put much of a dent in their $25 billion quarterly revenue. It simply wouldn't. And you're not going to get anywhere near that number of 270 million in one day because you're boycotting 500 companies.
Facts. Yo, Joe says if the Montgomery bus boycott had only been a day, we'd never know about it today. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
This is stupid, respectfully.
With love.
And I'm mad at you for perpetuating that it is anything other than.
It's slacktivism.
Yeah. And the post that I made, of course, this post doesn't get as much attention as the first one. Of course not. Was feeling helpless is self-fulfilling when you waste time explaining to the help how helpless you are. We're sitting there telling you because we have intimate experience with the situation. We are not experts.
No.
In this.
No.
But we have intimate experience. Remember I told y'all about that group I was in, and I was going back and forth with the people in charge of the group. Right. That required me to do some research. When I did some research, some of that shit stuck with me. Yeah. I understood how this shit, because when that happened, I was like, how effective could this be? My initial response was not, this ain't gonna work. No, my initial response was, will this work?
See, these questions, that question that you asked right there, that is the whole point.
Yeah.
The whole point is to ask questions. You know, when my kids were little or younger, we bought them a book called Asking the Right Questions. It's a book on critical thinking, asking the right questions, learning how to ask right. Either some of y'all skipped that lesson or it became inconvenient, so you stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Or you were emotionally compromised,
Mhm.
which is understandable. You're humans.
Yeah.
Whatever the case was, your fervor to just run out and do something shows a lack of leadership. Say what you want about Al Sharpton. At least, what it appears anyway, that he has a thought out thing that he's trying to do and he's not rushing into it.
Correct.
He could have tried to do something the date November 6th.
Yeah.
He could have tried to do something. No, let's think about it. Let's talk about how to do this, what could be effective, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The emotional response from some of you is, I think, because you've done the bare minimum up until this point.
Mhm.
And I'm not shaming you.
No.
Because people have lives.
Again.
And people get caught up in
Your
conditioning.
level of skin is your level of skin.
Yeah.
Only you can determine what that is.
And I think some of it is people realizing that because they didn't get involved enough, they could have did some things, but didn't get involved earlier. Yeah. They're feeling like, shit, now I got to catch up. Because
here's the thing about that. Your level of skin is your level of skin. But if I pour 2 ounces of water into a cup, or I pour 8 ounces of water into a cup, no matter why, it's still 2 ounces of water or 8 ounces of water.
Right.
The why is irrelevant once the water is already in the cup.
Right.
So
what we need is controlled rage.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds like a contradiction in terms, but it's really not. Happens all the time.
It's how you turn Super Saiyan.
It's literally how you turn Super Saiyan. It's also how you beat a motherfucker in a fight.
Hey.
How you beat a motherfucker in a fight, period. Like, you mad.
You have made me angry enough to do things that I don't generally do on a regular basis. However, I am not going to let it get me to the point where I'm no longer in contact with my faculties.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. Again, feeling helpless is self-fulfilling. When you tell the help, waste time telling the help how much help you don't have.
Right.
That doesn't work. You didn't even make the initial claim. I made the initial claim.
Right.
I made the initial claim. This is the case. Now, what do I do when there's somebody whose opinion I respect and they say something that I don't quite get? I ask them why they feel that way. I ask them why they feel that way. Matter of fact, one of these very people who commented on my post had made a claim about the whole Kendrick and Drake and J. Cole situation.
Oh, jeez.
And when they made that claim, it's a claim that seemed batshit crazy to me. So what did I do?
What did you do?
Hey, you want to have a quick back and forth about this? Why you feel that way? That's what I did. Because particularly in that lane, that is someone whose opinion I respect.
Right.
So I said, clarity. Hey, I missed something?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you know something I don't know.
Yeah, like now, to be fair, I didn't miss anything. But the point is, my initial response to somebody whose opinion I respect is not to just tell them how wrong they are.
Right.
Not my initial. It might get to me explaining why I feel they're wrong, of course. Right. But my initial is not, I mean, you're right, but no.
Something that Cindy said earlier that I missed, as much as she hates to say it, Ruth Bader Ginsburg not resigning while
Oh,
Obama
yeah.
was on. Yeah, we actually SPJ and I talked about that right before the show. Like that was a key element to how things degenerated this quick.
Yep.
And no one's going to convince me that wasn't a selfish decision
No.
on her part. I know how we like to venerate and apply for sainthood people who we may had some form of respect for, and then they passed and all of that. But the truth is, there was literally no reason she couldn't have just went home.
Yeah.
She could have just went home. She still would have got lauded as who she was. And on top of that, she wouldn't have screwed a generation or two of Americans out of rights by her place being basically replaced by somebody who didn't believe in a woman's reproductive rights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like some of these things were unforced errors, right? Some of these things were unforced errors. It wasn't just that the right with their little dark enlightenment plan did what they did over the last 60 years. I'm saying certain shit they're openly saying now that we were gaslit about the democracy. We're not in a democracy. This is a representative republic. Sure. I know I don't have to tell anybody here how silly that is. I already know my audience. I don't tell anybody here how silly that is. But they are openly saying things like that. These were things that a lot of us was picking up on and commenting on, and people on our side. And unfortunately, a lot of them are elected officials. Yeah. Gaslit us about, yo, you hear what this motherfucker saying, right? And they're still doing it. Trump says something, they go, oh, it was a joke. And the next thing you know, he's applying it.
He's not that funny.
No, he's never been a comedian. Like, and that's the thing, like, that type of shit there renders any leadership from them to be moot. I'm looking at Chuck Schumer up there looking like an absolute buffoon. Fight. Performative. Dumb. Stupid. Behind. Like, I'm saying that sort of shit. I'm even Hakeem Jeffries. We don't have any powers doing it. All right, bro. This is not what your base wants to hear you say. Your base wants you to be the resistance. Now, I know better. But I also understand how demoralizing that could be to people who believe in y'all. Because it looked crazy to me. So he said, lead the comedy to Zelensky.
Bruh.
I will once again at the risk of being repetitive, putting a clown in the White House does not make him president. It just makes the White House a circus. That's it. That's it. Them long floppy ass feet and that orange nose. Like that. And I saw people doing anything to make justifications for some shit that, you know, if you've been paying attention to politics for as long as I have, or maybe not even as long, you know damn well there has never been a situation where a sitting president behaved that way in public.
It's not a thing.
And it's been my whole point about this type of person for this whole time, is that level, that decorum he lacks is a key part of an attribute of being a president. And for people who run around here and want to act like, oh, that's just for appearance sakes. No, it's not. There are practical reasons why you don't do shit like that. You don't act like that. One, you look hyper emotional and irrational.
Yeah.
Second, the world is watching, including rivals and allies, trading partners, people we have treaties with. And they're going to make decisions based off of what they see there. Those decisions could disadvantage your population of people. We live in a global fucking economy. And despite all of these illusions of isolationist stuff that you see floating around here, we take the biggest loss doing that isolationist shit. There are certain they are already talking. I have heard them talking. It's crazy because over there in Germany, right, the so-called right over there looks like they're coming to power. Even the guy that's over there that's running it now, that's a right-wing dude, is like, nah, Europe got to look at the Europe. Now, to be clear, it's been my opinion for quite a while that this should be the case, period.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to listen to the people who have felt the sting of being not the favored demographics in this country. But you could have just asked us, and we would have told you, don't trust them, man. You better build up your militaries. You better make sure you got your little trading. Stop giving them preferential treatment. Understand the shit that they're unraveling is the post-World War II world.
Yeah.
They're unraveling all of that shit. And I know a lot of people over here, a significant number, think that's a good thing. We'll see. Because a lot of that preferential treatment your American ass gets when you leave this country and go someplace else, go away. If you ever heard of the Friendly Nations visa, America's on any country that has a version of that, America's there. It's on that list. Because they wanna stay in good graces with them. What happens when they no longer feel like they want to stay in good graces? Fuck them. They don't fuck with us.
Mm-hmm.
They rather see this motherfucker over here with the hammer and sickle sweep through Europe. So if it's fuck us, it's fuck them. So we're going to spend more of our GDP and budget on military. And then we're going to say with a nice letter to whoever's the president at the time, because it don't matter if it's Trump. If I was them, it wouldn't matter, because what I've seen is unhinged behavior where all it takes is 4 years, and then whatever treaties or agreements we had gets tossed out the window. Every 4 years, these niggas they do a heel change. They do this heel turn, right? Every 4 years. So it don't matter who it is. I'm sending you a letter saying, we appreciate the years that you had your troops here to protect us. We no longer lead them. We need y'all to leave. We need y'all to get the fuck out. Oh, and by the way, you know those little deals and discounts we got on some of our natural mineral resources that you don't have over there? We're going to renegotiate the price on that, on all of that. Who winds up paying? We do. We do. Soft power is important. It just is. Soft power in many cases prevents your sons from having to be located someplace and die fighting for some shit. Soft power also keeps certain diseases from reaching here.
Mm-hmm.
Who's old enough to remember the Ebola plague here in the United States? Oh, that's right.
I am, because it happened a couple years ago.
And it wasn't even a plague. You know why it wasn't a plague? One, we had institutions in place that could act
immediately.
Two, we exercised soft power in the countries where the shit was happening.
Yeah.
All that shit is important. Joe says that's the sickest part. The USA spent 80 years building these things for us, and the right wing is demolishing it in weeks. And some of y'all are just so conditioned to things being a certain type of way, you think they'll always be that way. Some of y'all not even thinking about some of the details of what happens when you demolish this. So you got your pom-poms going, yay, he sure told him. He didn't just tell him. He told every other fucking leader of every other country.
Mm-hmm.
Just watching that video, he told all of them. Anytime you got Russian delegates and dignitaries and politicians over there celebrating what he did, that's a problem. The fact that some of y'all are celebrating that shit along with them, that makes the 80s kid in me look at you crazy. Y'all on some if it dies, Drago shit from Rocky. That's
All
what y'all.
right.
Okay. Okay. But let me remind you of something. I don't know if you're paying attention hard enough, but don't it look like all of this is setting up to pull us out of NATO?
Hmm.
Think about it. The main argument now, and it's a right one, we got to support the Ukrainians because they're depleting Russia's military and their economy, and rather them do it than any of our troops have to go and do any of that shit. Because if they don't do it, and Putin decides to go into Poland, America's part of NATO.
Mm-hmm.
They instantly have to. We got to fight. You got to fight. That's in the treaty. But if I pull America out of the treaty and then sacrifice Ukraine to Putin, then he takes Ukraine and then goes into Poland. You ain't got to do nothing. We not part of NATO anymore. Exactly, Ron. Praise from the totalitarian ideology. That don't ring any bells for some reason. Look, Joe says the Cold War never ended. It just changed. Yeah. It just changed form. It's like slavery. Yeah. Yeah. This is what I'm telling everybody. Look, they gaslit you. They're going to continue to gaslight you about all of this shit. Because you got to remember that his cultists, there's nothing he could do that would make them criticize him. And I'm going to give you a classic example. I'm old enough to remember a few weeks ago where Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy got on Twitter and showed their whole ass about their immigration, about that certain visa. Showed their whole ass. And I saw for a blip on the radar, people on the right, people on the left getting mad about the same thing. Because Vivek said, oh, listen, the reason we need to bring people over here from other countries is I'm just going to truncate a lot of shit he said. Yeah, it's reductionist, but fuck it. Time to get the brass taxes. Your culture has rendered you stupid and inept. You don't value education anymore, you dumb schmucks. And we are in a new world, new technology. You guys are dumb as dog nuts. You guys, like 13 or 16 developed nations in math? Nah, we can't use you because you watched Saved by the Bell and you rooted for Zach Morris and not Screech. Y'all love the jock, big dumb jock with piss poor virtues. Y'all love him. And because y'all love that, y'all not good for this new world we in. So you can do your service jobs at McDonald's. You can go and fill up somebody's tank or work on some shit at a hotel. You go do that. We're going to bring people from overseas over here to do these jobs. Oh, and we understand that if we let you do that, we'd have to pay you a whole lot. We don't have to pay them a whole lot. He said that shit. He said that shit. And Elon even threatened to go to war, whatever the fuck that means, over on that point, on that principle. And for a split second, there was some unity in this country. Because Americans don't like being insulted. They don't like being insulted, especially if it's about people who they view as foreign. They don't like that shit. For a split second. That shit lasted all of a few days, maybe a week. You don't hear nobody talking about that shit. They went right back to groveling at the feet of Musk. They went right, everything Musk do. Well, we know that need to happen. Y'all mad at him, but y'all ain't mad at the government waste. I've been hearing all of this shit. Now all of a sudden they cool with him again.
Mm-hmm.
Joe said Americans hate being insulted, but not enough to change so that the insults won't land. Yeah, facts. Like, they went right back to kissing his ass. They're all aboard now. All saluting. There's a problem here. Several. And I don't know if people have the stomach for what's going to have to happen. I don't know. I can tell you this much. The last thing I want to do is have to be part of any of that. Because my uncles were a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Their parents were a part of that. And we still got to do it. And when I see my friends that live overseas, and they just watching like, ooh, dang, that's fucked up. Sure glad I dodged that. Sure glad I dodged that bullet. I be seeing them on multiple social media platforms where I have a profile. I have befriended a bunch of us who have left and are living elsewhere and living very well. And I see their commentary when shit like this, that shit like yesterday happens. I see their commentary. And I be jealous as fuck because I want to be able to be saying that shit too. But I can't because I'm still here. Let me tell you something about Shirley Williams. She ain't raised a sucker. So if I'm at the fight, I'm going to fight. Don't want to have to. May not have a choice. But what I'm not going to do is follow something stupid. That's what I'm not going to do. The other thing I'm not going to do is be leading the charge while motherfuckers all of a sudden turn around and go the other direction while we running ahead like what happened in November. We run a charge looking like Endgame. We the big three up front leading the charge. Imagine if by the time they got to Thanos' forces, the people in the back either went back through the portals and went the fuck home, or they all fanned out and flanked them and joined Thanos. That's what happened in November. I ain't getting jammed up with that shit no more. Nah. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You gonna do what? No, that's dumb. That's dumb. That's dumb. I won't be involved in that.
Hit me next time.
Hit me next time. Roll the dice again. See what happens. that 8-ball, that magic 8-ball, check that shit again. See what comes up. Shit. Now, I know y'all gonna get mad. But y'all see a lot of us going, no. But you need to understand why that's the case. You need to understand why that's the case. And it's not, that's the other thing. I saw somebody throw a straw man on one of these posts. Y'all keep thinking that we ain't gonna have nothing to worry about. No, we know we got plenty to worry about. We've been living here for a long time. We know whatever bad happens here affects us the worst. Because when you don't have all the safety nets, right? Of course you're gonna get smacked the hardest. Sometimes there are things that are just principle. Things that we will not continue to allow you to do. Even if it costs us. You're not going to keep playing in our face. You're not going to keep boosting us up to go and make the sacrifice. And then other motherfuckers like, Thought experiment.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to real life material situations that are happening. Thought experiment. Nah, you're not going to keep doing that. Not for me. Nope. Meanwhile, locally here, I got an election coming up there. Here. This part of my Yeah, here. Of course I'm engaged in that. It's local. Directly affects me. And my governor, Wes Moore, gave me some suggestions. And I'm going to take them seriously because I fuck with Wes Moore.
Mm-hmm.
But all that other Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey bullshit y'all bought us, let's see what you want to do with that. What you want to do? What's the plan? What's the plan, Stan? Get on the bus, Gus. To make a new plan, Stan. But I'm up off the scene, Gene. I'm out of here. I'm not doing that. It better be smart. Better be smart. I better think it's going to work. And it better not be, okay, so this is what we're going to do. All right, now you guys go first and then fuck out of here. No. I don't think they really truly realize how demoralized a lot of people are from that shit that happened last year. Especially people in my community. I've never seen this sustained consistency on a certain thing in years from my community. Sustained consistency on a specific point. I've never seen that. So good luck. Good luck. Because everybody's going to pay. Everybody's going to pay. Everybody. And there's no wonder that foreign countries are looking at us the way they look at us. It's no wonder. We look unhinged as fuck over here. And I think some of us are delusional about how the perception of this country abroad. Like, there's always been a tinge of, America's kind of crazy. It's always been that. But this shit here, we look rabid as fuck over here. You start adding all the shit, school shooters, they got a nutbag president up in that motherfucker doing the craziest shit ever. Then they leaving all of their allies they was allies with for 80 fucking years, and they're siding with the people that pretty much are the enemies of everybody else. This is literally Cody Rhodes saying, fuck all that American nightmare shit. I'm now a Homelander. And I'm siding with the Kevin Owens, and I'm siding with the sudden. Yeah, I'm there now. And you think there's not going to be a response? Like I said, the smartest thing to my European fans, who have been very loyal, by the way. They're very loyal. I look at my analytics all the time. Germany, Norway, UK, they've been very loyal. My suggestion to you, never go back to a situation where you have to depend on the United States again. Never. Get your shit right. Eat vitamins, drink water. Because I already see some of my Africans over there doing that in the Sahel region. Ibrahim Toure and the rest of them. I already see them doing it. They're like, oh, nope. Fuck Europe. That's it. Get the fuck out. Oh, by the way, these diamonds and this gold and this uranium, we keeping that because this is on our shit. You can leave.
Mm-hmm.
Get the fuck out of here. You was here to help us fight who? Then how come you ain't fight them then? How come it's only after we kicked you out that we started catching and killing these motherfuckers? Was you paying these motherfuckers to do the shit they do? How they get the money for these weapons? Was you paying these motherfuckers to be an issue, to be a problem over here? So we felt like we needed you? Is that what the fuck you did? The scramble for Africa is over. Get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Get the fuck out. And then we can renegotiate if you get some of this uranium at market prices. Not at no discount. Fuck out of here. I am saying to Europeans, do that with this place. Don't factor them into any plans you have and say, well, okay, we can be lax on this because the Americans got it. Don't do it. Because this place is nuts. Unhinged. Now, I know you didn't want to listen to me before. Not talking specifically to my fans, because of course they was listening. That's why they was listening to music, not you guys. I'm just saying as a whole, you wasn't listening to my community because you thought we was just all sour grapes. That's the funny part about this shit. That's the funny part to me about it. We was accused of being sour grapes. They just can't see, that community just can't seem to get itself together. We was like, yo, do you realize what happened over this motherfucker? Do you know what continuously happened? Do you realize that my generation that's under 60 is the first generation that actually had all the rights, at least on paper? Not 200 years ago, 60. So, like my mom did not have full rights. My mom, who's still alive now, did not have full rights. We tried to say, yo, these motherfuckers is crazy. And for a while, and so for a split second, they listened. Both my dad and my uncle fought in Vietnam. They don't talk about it a lot, but the small shit that I have heard, asking the question, why are you fighting us? You. They shitting on you over there. Why are you fighting us? Because many in my community have had this belief for a lot of years that all we got to do is put on a uniform, grab a gun, and go shoot the enemies of this country. And then when we come home, they're going to treat us better. They're not going to talk shit on us. They're not going to try to denigrate us. They're going to realize, oh, yo, we've been here as long as you guys been here. Who's been your most loyal ally? Here. We helped you build the joint. You ain't give us no credit for it. You put the uniform on to fight, went and got shot and killed the enemies of all of this shit. And you still saying, you still talking crazy about us. You still talking crazy about us. No love. And now you showing love to who? Wasn't these some of the same motherfuckers the country was fighting? You gonna show them love, but you ain't gonna show us love. Got you. And it took a lot longer than I would have liked for the bulk of a lot of my people in my community to understand that. I hate it had to be this. But fuck it, we gonna run with it. I hate it had to be this. But fuck it, we gonna run with it. Yeah. Joe just said we're 13% of the population, but 3 times as likely to be in uniform. It's where a lot of this comes at. You realize, had you not been that, how fucking loyal how these black people. Do you realize had you not been that? I said the same thing about South America. You realize had you not sent the CIA and all them down there to destabilize countries and shit, had you been the soft power nation down there earlier, how much things would be different? You do realize that all that bitching you doing about people coming up through the southern border, there's a reason why a lot of them come up through the southern border, because you destabilized their governments and you fucked over their resources, and now they down there with nothing and say, well, fuck it, I'm going to go where the resources were at. You do realize that, don't you? Don't you? I wouldn't use that right now though. McKenna says I'm technically able to get a Polish citizenship because of those rules, So a lot more people are already eligible for citizenship in the EU than they may realize. I would not exercise the Polish. I wouldn't pull that switch just yet because we don't know what the fuck is going to happen this year, next year, the year after that. We don't know what's going to happen. And I would hate to have to hear some shit that McKenna went over there. She said, "Oh, I definitely wouldn't." Yeah. This ain't the time. This ain't the time.
Not quite.
I'm just saying. Had you done right by your least favorite sons, shit could be different. Had you just gotten over that. Because, one thing feeds into the other. Your venom feeds our venom. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You can't say the origin of your venom is us. You did the offense. Like, what is that? What is that?
Not sure. I'm not sure. What
Something
happened?
about Rachel and Jack. I don't know who they are, but clearly they had something to say.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But ain't it time for
Weekend review?
Weekend review? Is that what it is? I think it's time for weekend review. I believe. We in our second. We hitting our third hour.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yep.
Weekend review. Review. So,
yeah.
What's happening? I hear something.
You broke it.
That's not me.
Yeah,
it's not coming from my audio.
It ain't coming from my audio, nigga. I ain't say nothing.
No, I hear some it's not a voice. It's like some ambient noise.
I don't know.
But whatever the case. Yeah, no bullshit, Ryan. I need a reverb hotkey. But now, so it's been warm this week. It's been relatively warm. I like that. So of course I started walking more, right? And I got to tell you guys, I really hate the way Maryland looks in the winter. It's hideous. And you know what? I wouldn't have thought about it if it hadn't been for Shafril. Shafril was the one that made the observation, and now I can't unsee it.
Eric and Jack.
He says
be with Rachel
because he grew up over there in the Northwest, right? They have a bunch of evergreens.
Is it just that she's vulnerable?
There's nothing wrong with
green all
Eric
the
or
time.
Jack saying,
but they don't have a lot of
want
leafy
her.
trees.
They should have set it up to where they both started
Maryland has a
going
bunch of
after
leafy
her,
trees.
and then they
agreed.
realized their
And they
friendship
look beautiful
was too
during
strong.
spring,
Right. And then
especially
so when
late
Jack
spring,
does go behind
summer,
his back to start
fall.
dating her later,
There's
it's
exactly, it's a
betrayal.
violation.
The issue
Exactly.
is,
Is it a generational thing?
during the autumn,
in
when
the
them bitches
70s
started
for
coming
sure,
down,
and maybe into
they
the
leave
80s
these
and the early
naked ass
90s,
trees.
was having a roommate that was
that
of the
look
opposite
horrible.
gender just a really big deal?
And
Exactly.
I like
Why
the
can't
spring type look, the summer type look. Like even if it's people say it's so hot outside, I don't give a fuck. It look nice. I can be in the AC, look out the window, and hey, it looks nice out there. You know what I'm saying? So McKenna says, "What's that sound playing over you guys?" I don't hear a sound now, but I did earlier.
I'm not sure. Hold on, let me try.
What type of sound is it, McKenna?
All right, I think I had something in the background.
Okay, because I only got like 2 tabs open, which is unusual for me. Well,
Sounds
3.
like background from a TV show. I don't know.
But
should be good.
Yeah.
Though.
So as I take the walk down to Paint Branch Trail. Usually there are a bunch of people down there just walking, especially when it's warm, right? It was surprisingly empty when I went down there that time.
Mm.
And I guess because of that, the animals decided, fuck that hiding shit.
Bruh.
So as I'm walking down there, I walk through a certain section of it before you get to where the stream is. I see these brown legs, right? I see half the body though. It's brown legs because there's some trees. The rest of it was high by trees.
And it was a
turns
mirror.
around, nigga. No,
Oh.
your
Oh.
ass. I turned,
I mean, you got brown legs.
but it's winter. I'm not wearing shorts. Your ass.
How I do that?
It's like 60 degrees. I ain't wearing no shorts in no goddamn 60 degrees.
60 degrees is warm, my guy.
It ain't shorts warm. Yo, this big dumbass deer came out there, and instead of, typically they're a little flighty, right? They try not to get close. It starts walking down the path where I'm walking up, and I'm thinking to myself, well, surely this thing is gonna turn off back into the woods because it sees me here now. That motherfucker was like, man, ain't nobody scared of you.
Ooh.
I outweigh you by a lot. And one of these kicks, woo, it's gonna send your ass flying over that hill some goddamn way.
Mm.
So as I'm still walking, I'm not wanting to, I'm gonna keep it real with you. And it was ass. I keep thinking it's gonna turn off. It's gonna turn. Gets closer, closer. So finally, I fucking stop. Yo, Mike, exactly. Sweet shit music. Exactly. I stopped. It stopped. So I'm thinking to myself, nigga, is it rabid? Like these thoughts going through my head now because this is not the usual behavior of a deer. It's looking at me with his head to the side like this, Looking at me. I'm looking at it. I'm thinking to myself, do I turn around now? I'm trying to figure out. I got a book bag. I got my water bottle in the book bag, still relatively full. I don't think it's going to do much damage. And this motherfucker, all these scenarios I'm thinking, I was like, well, outrunning, I got 2 legs. He got 4. That ain't.
I don't even know why you just said that.
I'm telling you, all these thoughts was running through my mind at the time. And it started moving forward again. And now I'm like, all right. But guess what happens after that? It just turns off and goes into the woods. So I don't know what the fuck that exchange was about. I don't know if it was a pissing contest. It was like, hey, fuck out of here. This our shit. I don't know. But I know that shit had me shook. I'm not gonna lie. That shit had me shook. Like, what the? I see deer around here all the time, bro.
Mm-hmm.
All the time in my backyard. But like I said, when you usually come anywhere in the vicinity, they wreck out.
Right.
Yep. That's enough for me. That's my time here, folks. I'm out. This motherfucker here was like, nah, it's a lot of trees. This is more my shit than your shit. So he ain't wrong either.
I ain't gonna argue with him.
He ain't wrong. I wasn't trying to argue. I wasn't trying to.
Your
be
mere
aggressive.
presence was an argument, nigga.
I guess that's what it was. I guess that's what it was. But it was ass. It was ass. Also, I got a chance to talk to, and this was just the other day. So I had some of you guys may or may not follow him on social media. The dude Dachshund. I got hit up in my inbox from his younger brother, who me and him had a conversation. He's a rapper too. He raps too. He lives out in Vegas. We had a conversation years ago. This is probably 2011, 20, whatever. I talked to him. We had a good conversation, right? He wants to do a comic book. So I definitely want to help him do the comic book. The issue is, though, I'm trying to figure out when I'll have time to do that.
Yeah.
Because we just really started to do somewhat of a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And already I see obstacles that I have to talk with, about some of this shit, because there's a specific type of way we're trying to release books. After having the experiences that we've had with these Kickstarters and publishing some books, we think there are some ways we could do it more efficiently, where we could do more Kickstarters in a year and get more books out. Unfortunately, the first part of the schedule, there was we labored under misconceptions about certain the how far along certain production shit was, and it wasn't. So now we got to just figure out again how to do this so that we can still keep that tactic, because I don't want to waste 2025
Yeah.
and end up with some of the same issues we had in 2024, right? But suffice it to say, we have built somewhat of an infrastructure for creators who have their own IP that they created, and they want us to publish it. Very simple infrastructure that is fair, at least to me, it's fair for the creator and us. Just for the size of our company, we're not a big company. We don't have a lot of resources and manpower. So the way the Image Comics does their shit is more closely aligned to how we need to do our shit. And it protects the creators so that they're not being preyed upon by Majestic Comics. We own your shit now. No, we're not doing that. Nah. We made a whole bunch of money off of it from a movie and animation. Sucks to be you, though. No. No, we're not doing shit like that. We're not. So I don't know the best way to actually help him with this, except for to some of the process of how to get it produced. I could probably help with that because he don't know how to do it, right? So I could help with that. Things you need, you have to find this, you have to do that. Certain companies you're gonna have to talk to get it printed or whatever. You're gonna need to find a colorist. You're gonna need to find an inker, because all the people that's available for us, they working on projects.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we just gonna have to say about that. But I'm glad I did get a chance to talk to him about it, because he has a couple of ideas that I think could work. It could work. But it's just us. We don't have the bandwidth to be able to, how record companies used to do for artists. They basically just came in with their demo, and the record company does everything else for them. They think they got potential. This could go. This could work. We can make money out of this. So then they bring the guy in. They do artist development. Majestic can't really do with so much creative development. We don't have the bandwidth. We don't. At least not right now.
Yeah.
There may come a day, where we can do that shit, but not right now. And finally, you ever had somebody call you every so often, but it just so happens that you just don't have time to really talk to them, and you're wondering why you just don't text me? Of course you had that.
Are you asking me?
I have another friend that I have known since the 7th grade. Actually, no. The summer of the 6th grade, going into the 7th grade.
You don't know.
That's when I met him.
You don't sound sure.
Oh, no. I'm 100% sure.
Oh.
Because he was a foster kid.
Mm-hmm.
He came in the neighborhood, and one of the families there took him in. Oh, that's how I met him. We both went up to Gwynn Falls Park at the same time. He was older than me. We both went up to Gwynn Falls Park at the same time, right? And he's been calling, and I keep up with him every now and then. Check up on him. Hey, what's going on, bro? I don't be having the time for these long-winded telephone conversations, bro. Because at least if I'm texting, I can do multiple things.
Right.
Like respond, blah, 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 this, that, and other. And he is not very computer literate, and that's kind of where I want to talk about with this story. It's 2025. He's not that much older than me.
Mm.
Maybe 2 years, maybe. He works.
Mhm.
He's not a shut-in.
Mhm.
Why the fuck don't you have a better understanding of how to use a computer?
Because they're for nerds.
Really? Listen. We should forever, after there's a certain age that we can comfortably say, hey, well, yeah, they don't know. Not 50s. I'm sorry. I'm not giving you that in the 50s. I'm not. The reason why I'm not is because when I was in fucking senior high, we had computers. We had a whole computer lab. And yes, it's valid to say that computers have changed so much since then that they're almost not the same shit. However, you didn't check out of the world for a period of time and then come back in when there was computers. That was like this. You was here with us the whole time, nigga.
I mean, was he?
The whole time, bro. He ain't disappeared. He didn't leave the planet.
How you know what he did with his time?
Or leave. Shut up. Or leave the timeline. Or leave the timeline.
How do you know?
At a specific time.
How do you know?
He can't spell timeline. And that's the thing. He's been working. And by the way, he's been attempting to learn real estate and all this other shit. So you mean to tell me in the real estate business, they don't use computers? Stop it, my guy.
Nah. Land deeds.
No, they don't do that shit. No, nigga.
Oh, my bad.
Nigga, you work in housing. You know. Nigga, you, oh my goodness. Your IT.
And I'm telling you from experience that people don't know how to use computers.
Oh, no. That part I don't disagree with. What I'm saying is there's no excuse for it. When you're in your 50s.
Listen.
No excuse.
The mean
Everywhere.
is the mean.
Everywhere.
The mean is the mean.
Look, everywhere. They're literally everywhere. You walk out your house, it's a computer right there. Everywhere there are.
Mean. That's all I'm saying.
Look, Joe says, if one is in their 50s and they don't know at this point, it's willful. I'm 56 and I was with computers from the beginning. And I will grant that there are some of them that really weren't early on. Because if you remember back at a certain point in time, not every house had a goddamn computer.
Nah, B.
It wasn't like that, right? However, I will repeat again. You didn't get frozen and suspended animation like fucking Captain America. And then I know for a fact he didn't. And I'm gonna tell you why I know he didn't. He don't have the super soldier serum. I'm gonna tell you why I know he don't have it. I'm gonna tell you why I know.
How?
This nigga falls so much and hurt himself so much. Listen, we not. No.
Yikes.
No. A lot of this shit, I can understand if you're not into AI right now. It's still early adopter time right now for a lot of us. Like the ones of us that are like keeping up with it, it's early adoption shit. I don't expect the majority of people. Meanwhile, by the way, for those of you who don't know, if I were you, I would, like, if you're into it like that, you'd find a way to monetize, capitalize on some of that shit now early on. Don't be like them motherfuckers from these other products and services that started out new and now a lot of people's on it, and then all of a sudden motherfuckers became millionaires off the shit, and you go, damn, how come I ain't getting to that? Right. Dude, figure that shit out.
Oregon Trail.
All I'm saying is you was here with us. You were right here with us. Yes, you were. Computers was here. And for those of you that might be stuck in that episode of Murder with Children where Marcy convinced them to get a computer and the whole point of the show at the end ended into this giant diatribe about No one will really. This will never come on. This will never get catch on. And at the end of the day, it'll be just like old fads like the Pet Rock and Mood Rings
and
and
Betamax and all that shit.
so how'd that work out?
Nobody use computers, my guy.
Yo,
Fuck.
my mother-in-law's in her 70s and she's upstairs right now using her computer. Listen, we're not
That's
doing it.
true. I don't believe you. Don't nobody use computers.
It's facts. Like you're literally using a computer now.
Oh.
Mr. Nobody. Mr. Don't Nobody. That's your whole name. Don't nobody use computers.
Listen.
Yeah. Mr. Don't Nobody use computers. Use computers all the time. This nigga hold up.
I may have miscalculated.
Hold up. This nigga just bought a computer.
Shut up.
The fuck?
I may have
You
miscalculated.
have no idea how hot I am about that. He just bought
I may have miscalculated.
This nigga sent a picture.
Oh.
And I'm like, look, nobody. Absolutely no one. All the no ones in no one land. James. This boy a new computer. What the fuck? What the fuck?
I don't.
Got a brand new shiny computer, probably got great specs, new fucking graphics card. I'm living in a fucking hovel.
That's not true.
That bothers me. But yeah, that's my week. And if my homeboys listen, I'm not gonna say his name. Text me. I don't have time to be text.
He's not going to. So, as Tim just alluded to, there's been an ascension. There's been an ascension in the family. Okoye, who has done her job beautifully for years by my side, is no longer by my side.
Hold up, before you continue, we can't say it. Mother Demon, why does this remind me of Dad saying dumb stuff to get you worked out?
Okoye is no longer by my side. I now introduce you guys to Shuri.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I went down the whole rabbit hole of memories, and a few months ago, as I was ramping back up with some of the creative things, I realized / remembered that there were a few things that Okoye was never really great at. But it was okay because it wasn't what she was built for, right?
Right.
So it wasn't like she started failing or no shit like that. No, it was just a couple of things she wasn't really great at.
Right.
When I bought her, I was focused on just the graphics card. Because of what was happening with crypto at the time, graphics cards were extremely expensive.
Expensive, yes, they were.
So to get her under my budget, I had to make a couple sacrifices elsewhere. I didn't get her enough storage space for my needs. Music doesn't necessarily take up too much space, but them photos and videos,
boy, listen.
Especially 4K video,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Extremely cumbersome. Another thing I skimped on was the processor. I didn't get the worst one possible, but it was definitely closer to like second tier than top.
Man,
tier.
trust the process, man.
Shut up. Lastly, I had 32 gigs of memory. Now it was the second fastest speed that they were offering, which wasn't skimping at all. But right. I could have done better if the budget was higher. Yeah. All of this made me look again. Okay, Okoye was at HP. I went back to their site just to do some pricing. Okoye, I believe, was a 30L. I could have that wrong. Mm-hmm. I didn't memorize it. Which seems to be in their second tier of gaming PCs. I looked at their top tier line, which is the 45L. At least it was at the top that I could find that day. Right. Tell me why the base for this was less expensive than what I paid for Okoye.
Oh,
it's because of the GPU.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So I fixed all of my issues.
What card did you have?
I don't know.
Is it a 4000 series or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I got the 64 gigs of RAM at the highest speed they were offering. I got the 1 terabyte NVMe SD instead of the 500 gig. I already have other drives for storage that I bought after I got a Koye.
Right.
Processor choices for a Koye were the I line of Intel's. All of the choices for Shuri were the Ultra. The Ultra line.
Ultra.
So
Ultra.
yeah, I got
Ultra.
an Ultra line for my processor. Once I made my customizations in the cart and shit, it said that the PC wouldn't ship until the second week of March. I understood because I know how that works. But Friday, like last Friday,
Yo, Jason just asked a funny. You have to be a computer nerd to really get the gaming nerd. He said, "But will it play Crisis?"
bruh.
Yo,
I got the message last Friday that it would be here Monday, and that somebody had to sign for it.
somebody.
So for those that don't remember, I had that exact issue with Okoye because at the time I lived by myself, and of course it was likely to come during work hours. So I told Chrissy to see if she could look out for it because she works from home most of the time.
You should. Did you tell a cat that maybe he might need to answer the door at some point?
Actually, I did.
Okay.
Funny enough, I absolutely told him at one point. But anyway, so we're sitting around Sunday, chilling in the house, dressed like we're sitting in the house. Not to get too specific. Somebody rings the doorbell. Chrissy says, "Babe, that might be your computer." I'm like, "Shit, you're right. It could very well be the computer." Sure enough, it was the computer. So now I had a mini dilemma. If I run upstairs to get pants, they'll probably leave by the time I get back downstairs.
We're not doing that. I'm going down there.
Now I had boxes on. Yeah, I had boxes on.
Yeah.
But I'm certain the delivery person didn't sign up for any.
First of all, yes, he did. Look. Here's the problem, right? Here's the problem. They said Monday, right?
That's facts.
It's coming a day early,
facts.
right?
I wasn't expecting nobody.
You signed up for the unpredictable.
So I went to the door and I just stayed behind the door. My plan was to sign for the package, it be outside, close the door, go grab some sweatpants, come back, grab the box.
Right.
Not so fast.
Hold up, whoa. You just gonna leave it outside?
As heavy as this. The same thing I say about my smoker is the same thing I said it there. If in 25 seconds somebody would have taken that computer, they would have earned it.
Yo,
there's no way.
McKenna said, "Trust me, delivery drivers have seen worse." And parentheses, as the daughter of a UPS driver. Did Cindy say, laugh out loud, as the wife of a UPS driver, they prefer you have pants on.
Thanks. So, not so fast though. So the dude was turning around to leave as I opened the door, of course. So my theory was correct. Had I gone upstairs,
you would not have got your computer, yo.
He was turning around to leave as I opened the door. He heard me open it, turned around and said, "Oh, all right, hold on one second." Turns out he didn't even bring the box off the truck.
He just knocked on the door.
That nigga was just hoping and praying that nobody came to the door
there.
so he could leave.
Yeah.
So I had to now wait for him to go back to the truck, find the package, then get it off the truck, and bring
That's time
it to
for
the
you
door.
to put some pants on there.
Nigga, I wasn't leaving.
Oh.
Because remember, I'm supposed to be signing for the package.
But he saw you by now, right?
So he put the box down and he turned around and left.
Oh.
Never asked me to sign anything.
Oh.
Now, if I was a different nigga.
Yeah, bruh.
If I was a different nigga, I'd have had a free computer.
Yeah.
But I'm
You'd
still
have been
excited.
me.
I'm still excited. Shut up. I'm still excited that I had the computer, so I didn't.
You ain't buck.
Yeah, I ain't do all that. But nigga, you didn't get me
do
to
his
sign
job.
a damn thing.
Now, wait a
You didn't
minute,
even
when they
show me anything.
I'm about to say, like, don't they got to take the papers that got signed?
Nigga. No, they got the device. You can sign on the device. But he didn't present a device.
So that means don't somebody still got to see this somewhere?
I
They
don't
keep
know,
a record of that,
bruh.
right?
I don't fucking know. I got my computer.
Cindy asked what company was it?
It was FedEx.
It was FedEx. So
FedEx, aka the reason why I got my mattress for free.
right,
Because
he was fed up. Oh, sorry.
See, yeah. If I was a different type of nigga, seeing me and signing it yourself is not. That's not how that works.
Right. Yeah.
If I was a different, hey, listen. But so then
Disco said, "Oh, FedEx will straight up sign that shit themselves all day long."
Yeah, I'm not surprised. When I first reported the thing about the mattress, they was like, the guy
Somebody signed for it.
Yeah, like
that's that bullshit right there, bro.
Wasn't me.
Bullshit right there.
I got my money. So the most important, the annoying part came next. Getting everything over to the new PC. It was simultaneously not as annoying as I thought it would be, and more annoying than I thought it would be. More stuff than I thought was on the external hard drive, so that was great. Plug and play.
Yeah, facts.
That made that part easy because they didn't have to move at all. I was at first going to attempt to migrate the apps, but instead I took this as an opportunity to get rid of some programs that I wasn't using and shit.
Yeah.
So I printed out a list of all the installed programs and manually went through them to see which one that I wanted, which one I didn't use for real. So I want no point
aren't you an organized bunny?
Nah, nigga, nah. I mean,
because I would
more so now, but nigga, the amount of shit that I didn't.
I wouldn't have even thought to do it that way, but I'll keep it real with you. I would have just been going off memory. All right. No, I wouldn't.
So I started doing that, and one of the issues running out of space was running out of space with Koye on the C drive because that was only a 500 gig drive. One of the things that I did to alleviate that issue was that I started having to install programs on other drives. Right. And because it had been so long since I installed them, I didn't remember which ones were installed on other drives. So I had my documents and my download folders on a different drive other than C. So when I moved that drive physically from Okoye to Shuri, I figured all the programs would just pick that up. They did.
Okay. Well.
The problem was the programs that were actually installed on that drive because they're now on a different drive. It doesn't have the same drive letter.
Nope.
So I figured that out. It was only like one or two programs that I actually still used.
So basically, the reason it didn't pick up on it is because it didn't have the same drive letter as it had on the previous computer.
Yeah.
So did you fuck around with the connection points to make sure that?
No, I'm not doing all that. It wasn't necessary. It was only one or two programs.
Oh.
I'm not doing all that. It was only, like I said, all the user mapping automatically worked. It was literally just two programs, one of them that I don't use, so I didn't reinstall it, and the second one, which I just reinstalled.
I swear I hate that. I hate that whole process. When you get I love getting a new computer, but I hate the moving because I got that part. I have so many just little pieces of software that I use that are very convenient for me, especially with being a creative.
Yeah.
And just have to go back and just do that shit.
Oh yeah, no, it's annoying as fuck. But yeah, I mean, of course, I know I could have done it, but it wasn't worth the lemon. The lemon wasn't worth the squeeze. Yeah, it was two programs. So while installing the programs, I made sure to check for any updates as available to install them instead of the version that I already had.
Right.
That went smoothly. I had one big problem with that. I sat down Wednesday to work on some music. In FL, I have templates that I use. I went to open one of the templates, and I was getting a notification from Waves that a plugin was missing.
I hate that shit, bro.
Now, it didn't tell me what plugin. It just said a plugin.
Yo,
And it didn't give me time to look and check to see what plugin.
yeah.
Once I clicked on the message, FL would crash. So that led me to believe that it was a Waves plugin that was missing, because Waves is the one that's telling me that
I
there's
didn't know you still had. I don't even use Waves anymore.
Yeah. So I did every combination of everything I could think of. Time is just moving by. At this point, it's now no longer feasible for me to actually work on the music that I was planning on working on, because A, the inspiration that I had was gone. B,
Right.
I had spent so much time doing this shit already, it kind of
Right.
ate up the time that I was going to devote to it. So figuring all that shit out, doing all these different things. Last reboot, reinstall. I uninstalled FL completely, reinstalled FL. Got everything, restart, blah, 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 blah. Got it to the point that where now when I open the template, I was still getting the same notification that a plugin was missing, but when I clicked through it, FL didn't crash. So then I was able to look and see what fucking plugin was missing that it was looking for. It wasn't even a Waves plugin that was missing that entire time. It was not a Waves plugin.
Yo, just a small aside, why did I text my wife that McKenna was moving to Columbia? She said, Maryland?
Yeah, not quite. Try again. And not South Carolina either.
Right. Right.
So a little inside baseball for the production nerds. I apologize because y'all already know all this shit I'm about to say, but there's a thing called a mixer and a DAW that basically holds everything.
Wait, what are they called again?
Shut up. That basically holds everything that's in the musical project that is audible. The mixer is made up of slots that are called tracks or channels, whatever. Each track has space in FL for 10 plugins. Each plugin affects how the sound of the track works, blah, 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 blah. Waves has a plugin called Channel Rack that has its own slots for plugins, but it only takes one slot on the track on the mixer in FL. This is one way to get around the 10 plugin per track limit. Now, I don't often use it for that purpose, but it also makes it easier to edit and manipulate my vocals because I can save that configuration as a preset to get my vocals to a point where I have taken care of the basic stuff I do to them uniformly and then make whatever changes and edits outside of Channel Rack. Anyway, there was a plugin on the Channel Rack that I had installed. It was a fucking Isotope plugin that I didn't install the older version of because I had the newer version. That is what was holding every fucking thing up.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, so I was able to change that.
Yo, have you had this problem? So something happens when you have to reinstall the plugin. And then when you go to use it, the presets aren't there.
No, but I think it's because of how my user folders are set up, because my user folders are always separate from my installation folder.
That's smart.
So I think that's why I never really had that issue. Like even when a fresh computer, never seen FL a day in its life, when I installed FL, it kept all of my settings and stuff because all of that was on a different drive.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
It had
I might need to do some shit like that at some point.
Yeah. That happened. There was another plugin that I tried to use and it wouldn't activate. So I had to do some investigation. Turns out I had to go back to Okoye, open that app, log into that app, deactivate it on that PC, then come back over here, open that app, log into that app.
Wait a minute. What are you doing with Okoye now?
Oh, I gave it to Chrissy.
Smart.
Yeah. Gave it to Chrissy.
See, you were smart to do that. I tried to be that smart with my last computer. My son needed another computer, desktops. I said, oh, yeah. Once I got this one, I was like, hey, go take that. That son bitch sat on that table over there for months.
Thanks.
Like, do you really need a computer?
No.
Me? Somebody give me a
literally,
freaking arm. Give me that.
literally before Shuri had been turned on the first time, Okoye was connected at Chrissy's desk.
See?
Yeah, I'm not. So there was just a couple little things of that, and then like, yeah, Thursday, it was like, all right, I think I've installed most of everything. Everything else will be a case by case basis. When the need comes up, it'll remind me, oh shit, I have to download this. Okay,
Right.
except I realized that it was Thursday evening, and we have a show to do on Saturday morning. Fuck, I gotta set up the stream.
Nigga, all that procrastination shit. Nope.
It wasn't procrastination.
Just get
That
to work. Just get
Nigga,
to-
so I started to set up OBS. I did not set up OBS. This is not OBS. This is some new shit that came out like within the last year or so. And it is so much simpler and more straightforward than OBS is. With that is another thing that I set up that I haven't really had time to go through completely, but it can do so much shit. Like we're gonna get the soundboard up and running.
Mhm.
There are just so many things that it can do. Like, for instance, this new joint doesn't have the possibility of muting my mic when I switch to a different scene, because you can't add. It has two ways that you can add audio. One of them is what they call it, global, which means no matter what scene you're in, that audio is
That's
playing.
the audio. Yeah.
And then there's the local, which is only to that scene. Well, I can't add my microphone to this currently. They're working on it, but I can't currently add. No, I'm not using Discord.
Wait a minute. Discord actually, were you using Discord?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And it just won't. It wouldn't. They're working on it, but it's not a feature yet.
Right.
But this other thing that I'm using can connect to it, and it can automatically do that shit given a couple parameters that being added to it. So now when we go on live, I can set the start streaming scene up, and it shows that scene, and my audio is not. I don't have to remember to mute my mic. So yeah,
I see.
it's about to
blind
be.
man.
It's about to be some lot of potential things that can be done. I don't know how much of it's going to get done. I ain't gonna lie to you. It ain't. But it's a couple things that may come through to the broadcast that either
We already got talking geese.
we got the geese. We got the geese. But yeah, I got a new chair. This is really uncomfortable because it's completely new.
I really like. It's just it's too
Yeah,
much shit.
it's the whole thing.
He's got a new computer with a 4,000 series, even though they're at 5,000 now, but still,
Yeah,
mine's
they're
at
5,000
3,000
now.
But and then he got a new fucking chair. The best thing I can think about that as a hater is at least it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, for now it's uncomfortable because I didn't break it in yet.
Right, this going right in a hovel.
This is literally my second time sitting in this motherfucker. It is not the most comfortable thing yet. But yeah, my old chair, the armrest was like fucking up. So I put it.
Yeah, my armrest fucked up.
I
wondered, what did you do with that old chair? You tossed it out?
I put it in the cat's room, right?
So
temporarily because it was
because it was in the way.
No, because it was in the way. Because I put this one together in the hallway. So in order to make sure that I could just put the shit in here, I put the old one in the cat's room. He immediately took it. Immediately. Like,
it's his.
I looked up, this motherfucker was just sitting in the chair.
Yeah, it's my chair.
I'm like, oh, all right,
hey Joe, that reference from Harlem Nights is a reference that me and my first producer would use all the time, anytime any one of us got something fucking new. it just translated over to this nigga. New
Yeah.
chair, new computer. I'm living in a fucking hovel. That bothers me.
Angie Stone died.
What? No way.
Yep. March 1st, 2025 at 63.
Oh, yo. That's whack. That's whack.
Angie
yo.
Stone, singer, member of iconic hip hop trio The Sequence, has died. TMZ has confirmed. Late Stars rep Deborah Champagne tells TMZ Angie left a performance in Montgomery, Alabama early Saturday morning when she was killed in a car crash. Damn.
Yo.
Yikes.
Damn it.
No other details are known at this point. Deborah tells us she just spoke to Angie last night, and the news has rocked and devastated friends and family. Angie rose to fame as a member of the Sequence, first all-female group signed to Sugar Hill Records. The group dropped 3 albums during their time together between 1979 and 1985 and dropped their song Funk You Up, which has been sampled in numerous other tracks. Over the years, like Bruno Mars' Uptown Funk and Dr. Dre's Keep the Heads Ringing, Angie embarked on a solo career in the late 90s, and her debut album, Black Diamond, went gold in the U.S. 2 years later, she released Wish I Didn't Miss You, one of her most popular songs ever. Angie later made the jump to film, appearing in movies The Hot Chick and Kevin Hart comedy Ride Along. We last caught up to Angie back in 2018 when she talked about younger artists needing to show some respect to the previous generations. Watch the video for yourself. We've reached out to Montgomery authorities for more information on the crash. So far, no word back. Angie is survived by her son Michael, daughter Diamond, and 2 grandkids. She was 63.
That fucking sucks, man.
Yeah. Yikes. I hate to be this guy.
I don't think you do, but okay.
I do. I really do. Cause you know what? I'm not gonna say it right now. If we bring this up again, I'll say it. But I'm not gonna say it right now. But yeah, that's an entirely sour note to end on. So what I'm going to do is, and I haven't set this up yet because I simply haven't had time. Am I the asshole for asking my roommates to stop having overnight guests? I, 21-year-old male, rent a place with 2 other guys, 22 and 21-year-old males in college. I am not close with either roommate. I'm not close with either roommate, and the only reason we live together is because a mutual friend helped us both get connected. I didn't have a place to rent for the semester, and neither did they. Over the past month, the roommates, Alex and Connor, have had overnight guests 3 times so far. Ordinarily, I wouldn't mind if they just visited for the evening, but their guests take up the entire living room and kitchen, and I feel as though I cannot even leave my room to go downstairs. Not only that, but they are somewhat loud, and I always get blocked in the driveway, which is a huge pain when leaving for work. Alex also tells them to use our bathroom to shower in the morning, so I have to wait like over a half hour just to get ready. The first time they were having people over, no one bothered to tell me. So when I got home in the late night hours, I worked part-time as a delivery driver and got off work late. I walked in to see like 3 random people asleep on the living room couch, and being as late and dark as it was, I was not expecting to see people there. Also, I asked Connor the next day to please tell me when they plan to have people over, and he didn't even seem to care that I felt trapped in my room or that they blocked my car in. Since then, they've had guests over twice more. And I guess technically he tells me beforehand, but only like an hour or 2 prior. I really just do not at all like having random people over, and I'm frustrated. This is like the 3rd time in the past month that it keeps happening, and I know it will only continue. The guests, while being all loud too, always end up staying the entire day the next day, and it is always on the weekends. So I can never enjoy any peace and quiet on the very few days I don't have class or work. I really want to say something to the roommates, but I know they would just say I'm overreacting and that it's not a big deal. Am I the asshole for getting furious at them for always having random people over, even though I never voice my frustration?
So I'm biased. Just let you. I'm putting out my bias out there already, because I hate when people don't want people over my fucking house unless I'm the one that say, hey, or it's necessary. You know, they gotta come in to fix some shit. I don't like people at my house, so I'm siding with him. I don't think he's an asshole. Fuck that. Get these motherfuckers out of there. I have to relax. What the fuck? Why are they in here? Get the fuck out. No, he's not. No. Get the fuck out. Get out. And I'm gonna tell you what he's an asshole for, though. You should have said something. You should have said something. Like, hold up, yo. And the first time you said, you don't gotta say it in front of the company. You can pull him to the side, right? And be like, hey, let's check this out, right? I don't be digging this. So we're gonna have to figure out some shit with this, cause like, no. And then if he didn't go along with that, then you say it in front of people. When you come in there and they're in there, yo, why are these motherfuckers in here? Didn't we have a conversation about that shit? Like, no, it's too much noise. I'm trying to relax. The fuck they better not walk across my lawn.
Okay. Yo, listen. I am going to have to vehemently agree with you, because what the fuck are we talking about? Like, what do you mean they blocking me in and I gotta leave for work and I gotta... No, what the fuck are we talking about? There's no way in the world. No, absolutely not the asshole. Why is that even a thing?
No.
Because y'all don't have fucking jobs?
So you get it. So on my days off, and I'm not in school, I gotta sit in here and listen to y'all keep can, right. And I'm trying to fucking relax.
Nah, fuck that.
Get the fuck out. Bro, let me tell you something. God damn it, it's something about solitude. It's something about that. Solitude to me is not just you by yourself. You with people you don't mind being around. Like, they are part of the ambient presence of the house. So when my family is over here, it's all of us. Yes, it's 5 of us in this motherfucker. But guess what, though? I'm good with it. Because these are the people that's supposed to be here. They supposed to be in this motherfucker, and everything's fine. It's when other motherfuckers that ain't supposed to be up in here are up in this motherfucker. They moving around, they doing shit, they touching shit. Even if they fixing shit, it annoys the fuck out of me. Do what you do and get the fuck out of my house. Now, it is different. I know it's inconsistent, but it's different. If I invited the motherfucker over, all right, because they supposed to be here. When Joe came over, he's supposed to be here. Yeah. All the times SBJ been over, he's supposed to be here. Yeah. This other shit, I ain't come home signing up for that. I'm here playing PlayStation 2 and shit. Get the fuck out of my house.
McKenna says, as somebody who has been with roommates for years now, they set clear boundaries with you. You try to follow them. Basic respect. Facts. But I gotta go with this person right here. What really pushes me over the edge towards mostly you're the asshole, though, is the very last part of your post. Even if you totally disagree and think that their behavior is absolutely unacceptable and rude, even for a college student, you have no right to get furious before having a conversation about this.
Agreed.
You need to be straight up with your flatmates. Tell them you feel awkward when they have people over who then crash overnight. If they then refuse to be considerate of your feelings, then they become the asshole.
Yeah, yo.
But not until then.
He said the same thing. I was like, yo, why you ain't? You should have been said something. Yeah. Discord said he needs to consult Sheldon Cooper for a roommate contract.
That's hilarious. All of
McKenna said someone who has been with roommates for years now. As you just read. Yeah, facts.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's saying that because they're overwhelmingly considered not the asshole, but pretty much everybody's saying they're the asshole is because they ain't say shit yet.
Yeah. You should have said something. You let that shit go.
Yeah.
The very first time, yo, that shit would have annoyed me. I'm like, yo, listen, we gotta talk. And like I said, he had to say it in front of the guest the first time. Like, he could pull him at the side, like, yo, listen, real talk. I don't like people in my fucking house, but I understand that everybody not like me. I got a roommate. So look, we need to have some set times or some shit like that with motherfuckers. You got to come holler at me. Let me know some people over here. I can't just be walking into the house after I had a hard day in class and I got to come in here, motherfuckers up in here, key, smoking weed and doing all that. Nah, yo. No. And then after that, if he didn't, comply to the agreement, then you can be very embarrassing. You have been your right to be very embarrassing. Like, yo, why are they in here? You did not say anything to me about these motherfuckers being here. And make it uncomfortable so other motherfuckers feel like they need to leave. Make it uncomfortable. Like Y'all
All
not
right.
balanced.
All right. Next, well, last one. Am I the asshole for telling my husband he does not know how to use chopsticks?
Hold up. Stop. Hold up. Because my wife can 100% tell me that, and I'm going to accept it because I don't.
Right. That's a really confusing title. Let's see how that works out. Okay, so some background. I'm Hispanic, and when my family immigrated from Mexico, they were in an ESL program with a lot of other Mexican and Japanese people. My dad learned how to properly use chopsticks from a Japanese immigrant and showed me how to do it when I was a toddler. I've been doing it my whole life and found it really easy and honestly better than forks for some foods. My husband and his sisters taught themselves how to use chopsticks when they were teenagers. I noticed they all struggle with them, but I haven't said anything critical about it. So my husband and I went to an udon festival at a Buddhist temple, and this much older Japanese lady was staring at me eating udon and praised how I was using my chopsticks, saying I was holding them well and asking who taught me. Then she turned to my husband and criticized him, saying he broke the wooden chopsticks wrong. They were lopsided, and he's holding them improperly. He looked really embarrassed and tried to defend himself. Fast forward to this week. My sister-in-law visited us from out of state. My husband prepared a rice bowl, and my sister-in-law plated them with forks. I went ahead and grabbed chopsticks to replace my fork with. I left their bowls alone. They both immediately made fun of me, saying, "Why can't I eat with a fork? And do I need chopsticks?" When I said I feel weird eating Japanese food with a fork, they said I was being pretentious and just take the fork.
Pretentious?
I then retorted that at least I know how to use chopsticks correctly. They both went silent, and my husband turned red in embarrassment. He later told me in private this hurt him. I realized this was rude on my part and didn't help. I don't normally say anything on what type of utensils other people use, but they kept picking on me for it. Am I the asshole here? Fuck no.
No.
Yo, the crazy thing about this,
so pretentious.
you know what shocked me about this as I was reading it is because they're overwhelmingly considered everyone sucks.
Yes.
No,
it's not true.
She doesn't. No. She didn't do anything wrong.
She just went and got some
anything
fucking
wrong. She
chopsticks.
defended herself. You insulted her. She had a retort.
Yeah,
that's your
fault. Now, like Cindy said, he should have thanked the woman instead of defending his incorrect way of doing it. Listen, the reality of the situation is this: they called her pretentious.
Right.
That's it. All gloves is off.
You calling her pretentious was an insult. Her saying you don't know how to use chopsticks is not an insult.
It's a wait. I do specialize at times of weaponizing facts.
No. A fact can be an insult. It is absolutely a fact, but it happens to also not be an insult.
Yeah.
It's not an insult. This is you overcompensating for the fact that you can't do something.
So because she can do it, she feels most comfortable doing it because she's been doing it for a long time. She went and got the chopsticks. The first thing that comes in your insecure mind, you're doing that to show us up. No.
I happen to have been raised learning how to do this cultural thing properly from someone who taught firsthand my parent how to do this.
Yeah.
That's not pretentious.
Listen, when I pull my butterfly knife out and stab the shit out of you, understand that I learned how to use that butterfly knife from a half Italian, half black dude named Richard. Shout out to my man Richard. I'm not doing that to be pretentious. I could have went and got a butcher knife with a steak knife, but I happen to have this butterfly knife on me right now. I'm about to stab shit out. You know what I'm saying? So when I pull it out and I don't do this, when I don't do this, I go and stab the shit out of you. It's because I'm trying to show off. My guy Richard showed me how to use the shit.
Yeah. It's very simple. I don't understand. Wait. Yo, I fucking hate people. I hate people so much. Yo, I just glanced at one of them that said everybody sucks here. It says everybody sucks here, but especially the lady at the festival. So you're telling me the person whose culture it is.
My God, man.
Whose culture it is at a festival where the point of the festival is the food.
My God, man.
And she's correcting you on your technique. And she's fucking B.
She
She's
sucks.
the wrong person.
Yo, she sucks.
All right,
Get
hold
the
on.
fuck.
I gotta see. All right,
I hate-
first, I had to see if there's anybody that just says she's the asshole because I gotta see what Reed
That's
Richards level stretch they took to get to that conclusion.
Right.
30. You're the asshole. Why don't you stand up for him when the lady criticized him?
Why would she do that?
All right, hold up. Stop. Time out. I see what's going on here after just looking at two of these motherfuckers. You think that you are so perfect that a criticism of your technique of something that is not native to you, you take as a personal affront. Because you don't understand nuance. That's what's going on here. That's what's happening. You're taking somebody who is a practitioner at the festival, correcting you on your technique.
Her culture.
You're taking that as an attack. Because you saw this baby
let me ask
shit.
you a question. If she was to defend you, how?
How? Especially when she does it correctly.
Right.
It would be phony of her.
Phony as shit.
And pandering to you. I wouldn't want... Yo, listen. If Chrissy had this experience, funny enough, it's a little bit of the opposite. I know how to use chopsticks. Chrissy doesn't. But
how
I can't tell you
of you.
But I can't tell you how Chrissy would feel, so we're gonna switch it. So if Chrissy was the one that knew how to use chopsticks and I didn't know how to use chopsticks, and we were at a fucking festival where Asian food is the star.
What the fuck, man?
And we're using the chopsticks that were given with the food that the festival is for. And one of the practitioners says to Chrissy, "You are doing great. That is perfect form. How did you learn how to do this? Who taught you?" Then pans over to me and says, "All right, so when you broke them unevenly, and you're holding them you're holding us a little bit off." If Chrissy then said to me or to the lady some version of, "You're doing just fine," do you understand how fucking pandering that would feel?
She's patronizing you.
Bruh.
She's literally patting you on the head.
Right.
The best you can do, sweetie.
If it's that important to you, you should want to do it right.
Cindy
if it's
says,
not that important to you, you shouldn't be insulted when somebody tells you you're wrong.
Yeah, that's a fact. You shouldn't give a fuck. Cindy says, "Is that some stupid stand by your man no matter what nonsense?
I guess.
Get over your fucking ego." And yo, that's
Facts.
it. That's the word.
Facts. All right, let me finish this. You're an asshole for not defending your husband. I'm from Asia, and I have extended family from Asia. We know how to use chopsticks, but we still use forks for many things, including the possible Japanese takeout.
That's cute.
It's not that serious. I'm not certain why you feel that the need to act so high and mighty, knowing how to use chopsticks.
Who said she acted high and mighty, though? Where did that come from?
That's what matters. All right, first of all, I do not believe you're Asian.
Me either.
I don't. You are, or you're a faceless. Not even like, you don't even have an avatar.
What if
you don't even have an avatar?
What if he's Indian or Filipino?
I know, right? So you don't even have an avatar. So I do not believe that you're Asian. But that's my second level. If you are from Asia, you're probably from like India or some shit like that.
Or the Philippines.
And then past that level, you're conflicting. You're conflating certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not certain why you feel the need to act so high and mighty knowing how to use chopsticks. He's trying, and that's what matters. That's not what happened. When he was trying, she said nothing. When she said something is after she was attacked.
Yeah.
When he was trying to use the chopsticks, she didn't say shit to him about him using them wrong.
There is something very like that I see a lot. It's super prevalent where motherfuckers they forget or want to conveniently omit the starting point to give it context and only want to keep the part of the story that makes them look like they were victimized. And I feel like when you do that, that's an admission that you're wrong.
Right.
Because why omit that part of it?
Yes.
McKenna says anyone with an actual spine would find that kind of pandering diminishing, not confidence boosting.
Facts.
Right. She didn't laugh and make fun of him for it. Right.
No. If anybody said that shit to me earnestly, we would have a problem.
Yeah.
We would have a problem.
Yeah.
Now, saying it in jest, all right, cool. Whatever. If you try to say that shit to me, well, you know, I don't think it's that bad. You tried. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Next person, you're the asshole and a pretentious one too. Oh, okay. Next person, you're the asshole. We are really proud of your chopsticking and appreciate reading four irrelevant paragraphs on the subject.
God. Y'all are so. These are the snowflake.
Y'all are really affected by this.
Yeah, yo, like that's insane.
You're the asshole. Japanese lady should have minded her business and stopped harassing him for the way.
No, that was what? She called it. That's harassment.
Yo. You should have had a conversation. Y'all say, but you later added insult to injury with your comment. You should have had a conversation with him about it. Maybe suggest that you could teach him how to use them, not in a condescending way. Why? It's not that important to him.
I have to really get the fuck away from y'all.
Bro.
I realize that now because one or two things is going to happen. You're going to drive me cuckoo.
Yo, no. You won't sit through all this shit. Imagine not sticking up for your husband over chopsticks because the person criticizing him complimented you. Do you
imagine feeling like you needed to stick up for your husband because somebody said something about his style that he's using with these? What are we? Yo.
You're the asshole. Why didn't you take the opportunity to pass on your oh-so-perfect chopstick technique and teach him how to use them properly after the festival?
I guess it was more important to you.
I guess it was more important for you to maintain your feeling of superiority. You owe them both an apology.
I gotta see. One or two things are gonna happen. You're gonna drive me crazy, or I'm going to kill you. Like there's no in between.
You are being pretentious and a bit exhausting.
Oh,
the lady at the festival was rude, making
I'm exhausted from them.
Making a big deal of your chopstick skills is a bit childish at best, and lashing out at your husband was an asshole move too. Of course, husband and his sister were childish too, but you are by far the bigger asshole here. They must be sick and tired of your chopsticks by now.
Yo, McKenna's tired of our chopsticks. McKenna said, "Don't you notice how these commentators, when it's a male OP, if in the benefit of doubt,
almost always,
yeah, when it comes to language used to their
almost
partners,
always,
they're all up in arms when it's a woman. Yeah, that
yes,
shit
you're the asshole. I also am commonly the only person using chopsticks correctly in the group I am around. I have never told someone they're doing it wrong. I sometimes gently encourage them to try a fork or spoon instead if they're getting frustrated. I do occasionally try to explain to people that you can use other utensils, especially at Korean restaurants when they insist on fighting with the chopsticks that lovely long-hand ladle spoon is sitting right there. But I feel like an asshole every time because you know what people hate universally? Being nitpicked while they try to eat. Do your own thing and let others do the same. If they criticize you for swapping a utensil, this is not why you were the asshole. Just say you prefer it and don't engage further. Fuck you.
That's not what happened.
Listen,
they completely made up this entire.
When we went to New York, we were in Walmart. I happened to stumble across a pack of chopsticks. I bought it. Literally. Every time we eat something that is Japanese or Chinese, I grab the chopsticks. Does Chrissy say, well, why you gotta have chopsticks?
See, that's the problem.
No.
Right? You are so pretentious. How dare you go?
The closest thing she'll do is if if I'm bringing the food out or if she bringing the food out. She bringing the food out. Hey, you want fork or you using chopsticks? That's it. That's as far as that goes.
So I'm just going to say this about all of you sick fucks in the comment section there that are calling this woman an asshole. You're broken.
Wait.
You're broken.
You're the asshole for getting the chopsticks when everyone else was using forks and then taking offense to what was a perfectly normal comment. Then responding with something that you already knew he was sensitive about.
So when they called her pretentious, that wasn't insulting? That wasn't accusing her.
But wait. This one addresses that. You're the asshole. You didn't need to stoop to his level. Personally, I think you should have let it go in the moment he pulled him aside later to talk about it. It was a petty comment coming from two people who were uncomfortable with their own skill level. It is not my job, especially when you target me because of it, to coddle your insecurities. No.
Yeah.
No. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you are going to lash out at me because you're insecure, it is no longer my job to take care of your insecurities.
Stoop to his level, finally kill. Listen. My God. Do you know how much I hate that whole train of thought?
Bruh.
Because I've seen it used for other shit. I've seen a motherfucker do something to violate. And then when someone responds, y'all get all up in arms at the motherfucker responding to the violation than the motherfucker that initiated the violation to begin with. That's exactly what the fuck is happening here. They're telling her she's the asshole because she's supposed to be the bigger person, but he wasn't supposed to be the bigger person by not feeling insecure about the fact that she went and got some fucking chopsticks to eat some food. He could have just kept eating his fucking food. All of them over there, they went and got their little funky forks. They could have sat there and ate their fucking food and not said anything about the fact that she went and did that.
I don't know. I think you're the asshole. The way you talk about using chopsticks does kind of make you sound pretentious a bit. When you were complimented by the Japanese lady on your proper... All right, first of all, there are... Chopsticks are tools. Chopsticks are tools. There is a proper way to use every tool that exists. There is a proper way to use it. There are also, for most tools that exist, there is a way that you can accomplish a similar goal with less efficiency.
Yes.
AKA improper. Every tool that exists. You could take a metal spoon and flip it upside down and use the end of it to stab your meat with to eat. You can. You absolutely have the right to do that. You can do that. However, that is not what that tool is made for.
I've taken heavy wrenches and knocked nails in.
Nigga, facts. That is not the proper way to use that tool.
At all.
At all. If somebody would have said to me when I was doing that, yo, you probably shouldn't do that, and then went to give me the reason why I probably shouldn't do it, I'd have been like, oh, damn. All right, my bad.
Sometimes when I use the wrong tool, I'm just being lazy because I don't want to go and get the other shit, and I got it in my hand.
That part. Very much that part. I don't know. Okay, proper use of them, only for her to criticize your husband. To me, that comes off as you subconsciously feeling superior to him, especially when you say things like, I feel weird eating Japanese food.
Oh, look at the psychoanalyzing.
When he cooked dinner.
I mean that literally. A psychoanalyzing. What the fuck?
I'm trying to get through these, but it was so many of them. Hold up. You're the asshole for getting chopsticks when everyone else is using forks and taking offense to what was a perfectly normal comp. Oh, why did you type it twice?
Because they were pretentious.
Yeah,
that's why they typed they were being pretentious.
Right. Why haven't you helped him learn how to use them properly? Seems weird to me to have knowledge of how to do something properly and keep it all to yourself, especially from a loved one, and you don't have to be rude about it either. There are ways to guide someone how to improve the way they do something without making them feel stupid or inferior. So let's take this at face value. Let's take this at face value. Let's take this at face value, right? This would imply that he actually does want to learn how to use
and
chopsticks
from what
properly.
I'm saying, that would mean
that
I don't think he does.
He does need critique. That's what that would mean. Okay, let's see.
Right. He says, I see you hitting nails with that hammer. I mean, with that wrench. I got the hammer for you. How dare you give me the proper tool? Right. Like, what the fuck?
You're the asshole. It was rude. You can use whatever utensils you want, but don't comment on others. They commented on her.
They commented on her first. This is like, to Cindy's point, I'm stabbing the fuck out of you with a sharpened popsicle stick. And then Cindy hands me my Bowie knife. I'm supposed to get mad because she handed me the Bowie. No,
Right.
I'm going to take the Bowie knife and cut your fucking head off with it for saying that goofy ass shit in the comments.
You're the asshole. You're definitely pretentious. Who cares about eating with chopsticks? Apart from a random stranger at a festival. Get some perspective. Nobody goes around showing off
Get
about
some
eating with.
Yo, I can't, yo.
They were making fun of you. They were making
can't.
fun of you because you always make a big deal about damn chopsticks. Frankly, you deserve it.
Who said that she always makes a big deal? Where did they get this shit from?
You're the asshole. You sound incredibly conceited and pretentious. Your poor husband went to an event with you where he was humiliated for the crime of not being as good as you are with chopsticks. Who cares? No, seriously. Who actually cares? This post screams, I'm so amazing because I'm cultured. It's not a good look.
Yo, McKenna said, also in terms of the Asian lady, corrected him, how dare you give me the proper tools at a tool store?
Right. Yo. You're the asshole. You're pretentious and you know it. First of all, I'm sorry. I got to point this out because, see, these are the times where the hyena gets activated and those tendencies from the past come back because the hyena was all ad hominems.
Yes.
Nigga, I was searching for the ad hom first.
We had hominem over here. Had hominem over here.
You're pretentious and you know it, comma. First of all, period. You're pretentious and you know it, comma. First of all, period.
We already know what this person's problem is. This person's problem is their English teacher. They got mad because their English teacher was trying to teach them about punctuation and all that other shit, and they got mad and said, "That's that pretentious shit. You in English class trying to teach me."
They continue. We didn't need 2 epic saga of how your family became chopstick pros. But the actual issue is you allowed a woman to disrespect your husband. It sound like you low-key enjoyed it. Your husband teased you in your home.
Did they spell low-key L-O-K-I?
No.
Okay.
Your husband teased you in your home. You allowed him to be mocked in public. You are most definitely the bigger asshole here.
How dare you give me the proper size tennis shoe at a tennis shoe store?
You're the asshole. I'm sorry to say it, but anyone who takes this much pride in their cultural approbation. Okay, I'm sorry to say it, but anyone who takes this much pride in their cultural approbation of something is an asshole. You're that person who takes one trip to Mardi Gras and spends years insisting the proper way to say New Orleans is Nolans every time someone eats a donut. It's not what happened. She didn't insist anything.
Yo, they are literally making up scenarios in their own head, pretty much revealing their own personal insecurities when they get corrected about some shit.
You're the asshole. I agree it's pretentious. I will quote Jerry Seinfeld to Donna Chang. You know you're not Chinese, don't you? In your case, you're not Japanese. Because only Japanese people use chopsticks.
Yo,
yikes. All right, that's all of them. I had to get through them because what the fuck?
My God, yo, it's at the point where I can't find a strong enough word to say you're stupid.
Bruh.
Like now we have to invent new words.
Yeah.
To say you're so
This is painful.
That was really, and we'd like to thank all of you again for joining us on another rousing edition Black Culture Geeks podcast. We apologize. You had to sit through that brain-numbing bullshit. These fucking ignorant apes.
Mm.
Sorry,
Mm.
but unfortunately, this is the world we live in now.
It is.
And until Elon Muskrat can get us the ships to go to Mars, we can't kick these motherfuckers off, including him. Get the fuck out. Be sure, never forget, there is always music.
Always.
Music from the past,
Mhm.
present music,
Mhm.
music in the future.
Mhm.
Go to Spotify, go to Bandcamp, run them numbers up.
Yeah.
Please do not forget, my sister, his significant other, Chrissy's podcast, Heard Through the Grapevine. They got a whole new bunch of tech there now. The show's looking better. You know what I'm saying? They got a whole new angle with the camera sitting up there where they get most of the people in the picture. That shit is I love to see podcasts improving on their shit. But the ironic thing about that is I hate to see people getting new shit.
Hey, listen.
So, I'm just saying it is what it is with that. Also, don't forget my guy, Super Side Guy, and Kendricks. Excuse me, Hendrix. Look, Kendricks on the
Yeah,
mind.
listen.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Man, Hendrix, Metas and Mutants podcast. Go check that shit out as well. If you haven't already, go to the majesticcomics.shop, get yourself a comic book. And for my man SBJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man. And for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.
Peace.